and I love to eat his food. Here's what you need to know. He's got an end-of-summer pork extravaganza that he's offering. You pick the pork. He's got pulled pork, pork steaks, baby back ribs. You pick 3 sides to go along with it, maybe the Gouda mac and cheese or the potato salad, and then bread from Pizza Italian Bakery on the Hill. Now I'm hungry. Order today online at grillmastertony.com.
Okay, so you filed your taxes this year, but you know you have past IRS issues. And now the IRS letters are coming. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. Don't ignore those IRS letters. They're important and give you rights and deadlines to defend yourself. Waiting could cause you to lose those rights. Call the Lance Story Law Firm now and let us help you get ahead of the IRS and defend your rights while you still have time. The Lance Story Law Firm is located here in St. Louis, so take the first step and hire a tax resolution attorney. We've made it super easy to schedule your free consultation in person, or you can do a phone call and save travel time. Remember, IRS problems are legal problems. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm. Call today at 314-238-7360. That's 314-238-7360. Or go visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Angie makes it easier than ever to connect with skilled professionals to get your home projects done well, from repair to remodel. Book instantly at an upfront price or request quotes from multiple pros. Get started on the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
A natural gas leak can be found almost anywhere, even if you're out for an evening stroll in the neighborhood. An important safety tip from Mango, the Missouri Association of Natural Gas Operators. If you smell gas, act fast. Leave the area, go upwind, and from a safe location, call 911.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
I don't know who gave him the commendation. I really don't know who gave him the commendation.
Presidential commendation. One went out to Mark
Somebody
Miller, too.
probably handed him a commendation. He probably, but let me just tell you about Fauci. Fauci was very important in the Biden administration, much less important. If you know, he didn't want to stop China. He wanted to let everyone come in from China. I stopped it. I overrode it. I overrode many of the things he did. He was much less important to me. Now, with that all being said, he's been there for years. He was respected. He lost a lot of the respect because of COVID, but he was respected. And on COVID, if you know what I did, I let the governors run their states. And many of the governors opened up their states. Some of them didn't. Florida, by the way, was closed.
Donald Trump sitting down with Megyn Kelly. Somebody said yesterday, is it possible that Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis could be on the same ticket? You got Donald Trump and Megyn Kelly sitting down within 3 feet of one another, having a pleasant and a little, not tense, but a difficult interview, I would say. And very interesting to hear Donald Trump's reaction to the question about Fauci. And Megyn Kelly, when she was talking about this exchange, she was talking about how she's like, this is what people ask me. These are the questions that my listeners bring to me about you. Any candidate should see that as an opportunity to answer that question. You should be, war room the situation, get coached on how you're going to face that question, but you should face it. And I think that the thing that's interesting to me is that Donald Trump didn't say he did anything wrong with Fauci in that response. But he did use it as an opportunity to dunk on Ron DeSantis. So the question is, who's the bigger problem here for Donald Trump, or what is his bigger enemy? Is it Donald Trump or is it Ron DeSantis? I guess right now it's Ron DeSantis, and that makes political sense. I get it. Maybe it might be Fauci in the general, though, if people are frustrated with the way Donald Trump handled COVID. Here's more from that. Let's listen in.
Okay, look, I'm not one that blames a system that if you're civil service or if you have some other protection that you can't get fired, because I've done things that are a lot worse than that.
You're big on the firing.
So yeah, I fired a lot of people. I fired Comey, and that was one of the great firings. I fired Comey, and then I fired a lot of other people in the FBI, and they were great firings because the deep state, and they were at work, and they were not good people. But I was not a big fan of Fauci. If you look at Ron DeSanctimonious, this guy said the greatest things. I can give you articles that Fauci's great. He's wonderful. We love him. We don't do anything without Fauci. This went on for months.
But he didn't listen to Fauci.
He did 100%. Look,
he shut down Florida.
I will give you. He shut down Florida
for a month.
Oh, he shut it down for a lot longer. He shut down the beaches. He shut down the roads. He shut down a hospital. He was shutting down everything. He also had long lines of people getting the jab, as he called it. Let's all go get the jab.
Do you remember it that way? Is that how, when you think back on COVID, do you remember Donald Trump being the person who was all about, be open, stay open. Governors, if you want to close your states, you can go ahead and close your state. Do you remember Ron DeSantis in Florida being lauded by the left for closing down his state? Of course you don't, because that's not how it happened. The thing that frustrates me about Donald Trump here is that this is so easy for Donald Trump to come and say, we were learning on the fly and we were doing everything we could to prioritize the American people in the midst of a virus that was ravaging our country and ravaging our world. We were in the midst of being attacked, and he should say, by China, because that's what he has said the whole time. And we have much more evidence that proves that his position on the quote unquote China virus, the reason he called it that was because it came from China and he said it was manufactured. We have a lot more information on that than we did before. There are a lot of things that Donald Trump was right on, but he needs to say I was leading and I wanted to protect the American people. And you know what? In the speed with which we had to react, we made some mistakes. And there's nobody who is ever going to go in there and handle a situation like we did and not make mistakes. It's not possible. But what you have to do is you have to put your head down. You have to keep working on behalf of the American people. You have to admit your mistakes when you make them and move past them so you don't repeat them. I don't understand why Donald Trump's response to Megyn Kelly's actual question there, do you have any regrets whatsoever? Are you concerned about, is there anything you would have done differently? How he can't possibly say yes. Everybody would have done something differently. So would he, and he knows that he would do that, but he doesn't want to say it out loud because he's afraid it's going to give some ground up to the enemy. I think that there are a lot of people who love Donald Trump, who support Donald Trump, who are going to vote for Donald Trump, who want to hear him say, I should have called out Fauci when I did, or when I was skeptical of him. I should have pushed back on him more, and I didn't. And I learned that lesson, and I know now with extra evidence and with extra confidence what I was pretty skeptical of then, and we will never have an instance like we did in 2020 again. We will never have it again. And I think he's on terra firma when he would say the asset to the politics of the left going into the election also need to never happen again. That seems like it'd be an easy transition for him. If all Donald Trump feels when he gets asked a question about, is there anything you would have done differently with COVID? If all he is trying to get to is to tell us how Ron DeSantis closed down Florida, people aren't buying it. They're not going to buy it. And the more it gets pushed in that direction, the more I am a little concerned that he wouldn't go back and actually do things differently. Here's more from his interview.
Look, when this came in, nobody knew what the hell it was. It sounded like an ancient, pandemic. You thought that was from 200 years ago or from 1917. We never thought you'd have a pandemic. Nobody had any idea. We got word that bad things were happening in China right around the Wuhan clinic. And I was the one that said it was in the Wuhan clinic. And, I stuck with it, and it was absolutely. It came out of the Wuhan clinic. But you take a look, and what we did was, this was brand new. Nobody knew what the hell it was. There's dust. Somebody said there's dust coming in from China, and it's killing people in Italy, and it's killing people in France, and it's going to kill people here. And by the way, I shut it down to China. That was a big move. I saved thousands, hundreds of thousands of lives by doing it.
That was the thing. I mean, he did. He did. There are things that he did very well. I mean, honestly, anybody who was in a leadership position during that time, give it January of 2020 through about May, especially by the time summer got here, I have personally a lot of grace and forgiveness for people who made decisions that I would, knowing what we know now, drastically do different. You've all been in the midst of some sort of conflict, some sort of, very high pressure, high intense situation where you got to make decisions fast. And you kind of do the thing that insulates the closest circle to you as soon as you can, and then you broaden it, and then as you make it broad, you figure out ways to, okay, let's bring it a little bit closer to me so I'm not casting such a wide net. Everybody does that. You have a major financial situation. Maybe you have somebody in your house that loses their job, and maybe they're the breadwinner of the family, and so you immediately go, you do everything, you get everything locked down. You cancel subscriptions to things, you stop going out to eat, you keep listening to me talk to you about going to Ruler Foods to save money on your grocery bill, and you're like, okay, fine, I'll go check it out, Annie, leave me alone. And you make all of these decisions, and you try to rein in every penny that you can, and then maybe you realize, okay, well, we have a safety net, we're going to get to point B from point A, and maybe the kids really like watching Disney Plus, or so you go back on that $10 subscription, or maybe you decide you're going to broaden your ability to go work somewhere else or do something else, and you don't get so strict about another particular issue of your finances. And you just kind of start piecing it back together because you have a little bit more benefit of time to make those decisions. Why would it be any different when a country and a globe, the whole world, was under attack by something that we haven't seen in our lifetimes? Of course that's the case. I almost think that in order to lead in that moment, you have to be so bold to make such strong, drastic decisions to protect the people who you are in charge of protecting, that you're naturally going to go back and Monday morning quarterback and go, I understand why I did this. Here's the explanation of why this went the certain way that it did, but next time I would do it a little bit differently. Brad, don't you think it's so important for Donald Trump to not be all or nothing about his time in COVID? Megyn Kelly is asking very specific, pointed questions. Yeah. She's saying she's asking them on behalf of her listeners. This isn't Megyn Kelly trying to get back or, whatever at Donald Trump. I commend him for sitting down and talking with her. Yeah. Smart move. But there's nothing that he wants to go back and say, man, I'd really wish I would have known X, Y, and Z then.
Right, because there's a chance that whenever you look at what he did, we understand that nobody knew what was going on. It was sort of an unprecedented thing. So when the virus first came to the United States, we were watching the videos coming out of China of people falling out in the streets and all that other stuff. There would be a lot of leeway given toward him for saying, I wasn't sure what I was doing at the beginning. We were trying to figure it out, trying to get our footings. I do regret giving Fauci this much leash. I do regret, not coming out harder and protecting freedoms and all of that other stuff. And if I had a chance to do it over again, I would do it differently.
Is there ever a time, can you think about times in your life where it's been a high intense situation and you make some quick decisions because you're faced with a decision to make? You don't have the benefit of time to act.
Oh yeah, there's always.
And then you go, oh, well.
You got to make the best decision that you can in the moment because, like you said, there's no time to react. There's no time to act. So you take what little information you have and you do the best that you can. So that's when mistakes are made. But if you don't do anything, the circumstances, the outcomes, everything like that would be way, way worse.
I just think he's missing an opportunity. Man, there's no way for me to say this and for people to not hear it in the political realm, but I mean it in the historical realm. What Donald Trump was able to do to remove the bureaucracy that is generally in place when it comes to Operation Warp Speed, he prioritized something. To me, it shows me that if the government really wants to get something done, you can pull out the stops and get it done. So don't give me this like, well, this takes years and time And it always takes just like maybe 3 years because then you'll get a new Congress every 2. And then you're like, well, we have to revisit this. If government wants to do something and you have a leader like Donald Trump, it gets done. And when it comes to the vaccine, on the whole, I am not pro-vaccine. I am not anti-vaccine. I have never on this show said whether I got the vaccine. I don't think y'all know if I have or if I haven't. And I specifically tried to abide by that because should I have gotten it and told you I got it and then you got it because you're like, well, Annie thinks it's okay. I guess I'll do it and something bad happened to you. That you should never be doing medical. You're doing, my medical situation and your medical situation are completely different. And if I were to say, no, I'm not getting the vaccine, and then you don't get the vaccine and then you get sick, and because we didn't know, we did not know. And on top of all of it, we were not allowed to talk about it, which made me distrust the whole system. There's me, there's the system in the middle, and then there's the vaccine on the other side. And everywhere I go, it was very similar to the idea of marijuana legalization. Everybody is an advocate for something. Nobody just wants to sit down and is like, I got no skin in the game, no pun intended. And you can't have just that simple conversation, which is what we really did do with Dr. Hardiman as much as we possibly could, weekly for years, to discuss as close as we could to just the medical side of it. And I think he was, honestly, Brad, of all of the conversations that I heard about the vaccine and COVID and all of that in that time, Dr. Hardiman, to me, was the most reliable, sensible information. He was not afraid to talk about who maybe would want to get it first or who might have the luxury of waiting a little bit of time to see if there are more experiences out there, whatever. We didn't have information. We weren't allowed to discuss it. I'm not going to come on here and tell you I did this or I didn't do this and then have you even factor that into the decision on whether or not you do something for you. Whether the vaccine exists in and of itself, the left, they are the ones who politicized it. Kamala Harris said, if Donald Trump says to get the vaccine, I'm not getting the vaccine. She said that in a debate.
Yes.
She politicized it. They politicized it. They win the Oval Office, and then they force people to get it. Whether you're pro-vaccine or not, you got to look at that and go, as Americans, this is not what we do.
Right. Yeah. For me, Dr. Hardiman was one of the things that got me through COVID. It was one, like I knew whenever he would come on, I could ask questions because I was a listener at the time, and you would take questions from the chat, and I could ask certain questions and stuff like that. And he would give honest, pointed answers. And sometimes if he didn't know, his answer was, I don't know. I don't know on that. But then, yeah, to your point about Kamala Harris, I remember her saying that all the time. I am not getting this. But I also remember commenting the minute that vaccine comes out, if they're in power, she'll be first in line with her sleeve rolled up.
Yeah, she said it basically depends on who's in charge.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Which has zero effect on whether or not a vaccine is effective.
Go talk to your medical provider.
Yes.
Who knows your medical history and make your own decision. And I've stressed this a million times too. If you go to your medical provider and you don't want to bring it up because you don't want to hear what they have to say, you need a different doctor. Because you can't, if you don't trust them to do what's right for you in this instance, how would you trust them with anything else? The massive net that was cast when COVID set in, the government overreach, I hope in our lifetimes, Brad, it gets put back in the box.
It's so hard to do. It's so hard to do.
It is going to take, I'm going to use a word from Mike Pence. Is it lodestar? Is that what it is? Remember when the anonymous person wrote that article in I think the New York Times and was talking about how they were all considering the 25th Amendment, and then it turned out to be like a third-tier low-level staffer that like had a pass to get it in the White House or something, but they used the term lodestar in this article. And then immediately MSNBC's like, they've got a whole clip. I have it. I can play it for you. I'm going to play it for you later on the show. It's like a montage, I think, of Mike Pence saying lodestar. What is a lodestar? As far as I know, lodestar is the lead in Spaceballs. Lone Star. I see your shorts. It's as big as mine. I'm going to do the rest of the show in Spaceballs comments. It's just going to make me happy and make me smile, and hopefully you as well. Let's talk to Hans von Spakovsky when we come back. Always love our conversations with him. It also means it's Thursday, which is fantastic. He's a senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation. I'm going to talk to him a little bit about this is a funny song. I'm going to talk to him a little bit about the conversation in the House of Representatives about a motion to vacate the chair and what that might mean, because we're also in an impeachment inquiry. Do the Republicans have their act together? Hans von Spakovsky will talk to us about the constitutionality of all these things happening in the House of Representatives. We'll be right back.
Don't let yourself go.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Everybody hurts.
And picked for by Case Legal Media. Attention Marines, military personnel, families, and contractors who were stationed at Camp Lejeune. Were you present at Camp Lejeune between August 1953 and December of 1987? You may be entitled to significant compensation. For nearly 34 years, those on the Marine Corps base Camp Lejeune were exposed to contaminated drinking water, resulting in devastating injuries, including several forms of cancer, adverse birth outcomes, Parkinson's disease, and more. Until now, North Carolina's procedural laws have prevented victims from getting the justice they deserve. But passage of the Camp Lejeune Justice Act of 2022 would allow you or a loved one to file a lawsuit seeking compensation for illnesses and injuries linked to the toxic water. Call today for your free consultation, 800-291-3576. Don't wait. Let our experienced attorneys fight to get you the compensation you deserve, and you pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call 800-291-3576. That's 800-291-3576. Again, 800-291-3576.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be signs that your digestive system isn't working at its best? But taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil supports your daily digestive health using a special plant-based fiber called psyllium. Psyllium works by forming a gel in your digestive system to trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Metamucil's gelling action also helps to promote heart health and slows down sugar absorption to promote healthy blood sugar levels. Start feeling lighter and more energetic by taking Metamucil every day.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail. The ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun, always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
Dogs on Duty supports working dogs, and 97.1 FM Talk proudly supports Dogs on Duty for this month's Conservatives Care. I'm Sue Thomas. Check out this great organization at 971talk.com/care.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
She acts like summer and walks like rain. Reminds me that there's a time to change. Since the return of her stay on the moon, she listens like spring and she talks like June. Well, tell me, did you sail across the sun? Did you make it to the Milky Way to see the lights all faded and that heaven is overrated? Tell me, did you fall from a shooting star?
What you see Republicans in Congress, right? They have spent all year investigating the president. That's what they've spent all year doing, and have turned up with no evidence, none.
More perfect.
Your form of our perfect union.
Heritage legal expert Hans von Spakovsky.
Hans von Spakovsky with us again. It's Thursday. Happy to have you back with us. We've had a lot manifest over the course of the last week with an impeachment inquiry and now a very impassioned speech by Matt Gaetz pushing a motion to vacate the speaker's chair. So I can't wait to hear what you have to say about it. Hans, welcome back.
Having me.
Well, so tell me, Hans, when you hear first about this impeachment inquiry and we don't see that they're voting on having this impeachment inquiry, they kind of just stumble into it. From what I understand, that's what maybe the Democrats did to Donald Trump without taking the actual vote. Does that give you any pause that they didn't go through the voting process to start this inquiry?
Well, no, because people are confusing impeachment with an impeachment inquiry. In order to impeach the president or an official, then you would need a vote. You'd need a vote of the committee. You'd need a vote of the House. But they're not impeaching Joe Biden. They're simply saying we're going to open basically an investigation, an impeachment investigation. And for that, they don't need a vote any more than any of the committee chairs of any of the committees in the House. Whenever they open an investigation into all kinds of other matters, they don't have to have a vote to do that.
So if they were to have taken a vote, it almost seems like the political move would have been to make it public for everyone to go on record, to see who was for it, see who was against it, not actually to make something happen.
No, that's exactly right. And like I said, at this point, there's not a need for it. The Speaker McCarthy, has the ability to direct particular committees to engage in inquiries, investigations, hearings, and that's what he's done. And look, the key thing that this does, Annie, is because remember, these three committees have already been investigating Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and the potential corruption and misuse of the vice president's office. By saying that they're going to open this into an impeachment inquiry, it simply gives those committees more authority, more power, and the biggest thing they need, more staff and resources to conduct the investigation that they've already been doing.
So we're speaking with Hans von Spakovsky right now. They're going to go further into this investigation. I would assume that there's no specific timeline that's set on something like this. You just start investigating and you follow the investigation wherever it takes you. I mean, we have so much time to get to the next election. So I would think that there's a political timeline that matters. But tell me how the process moves forward.
like I said, they will simply expand what they've already been doing, which is obtaining bank records, taking depositions, holding hearings with business partners, former business partners of Hunter Biden, agents who were involved in the investigation, basically anyone who has relevant information. I'm sure one of the things they'll try to get is find out who the informant was that the FBI reported on, but then did nothing about it, who claimed that a bribe was paid in order to get the Ukrainian prosecutor fired. And, you know, you played that clip from the White House spokesman saying there's no evidence. Well, she's whistling past the graveyard when she says that. There's all kinds of evidence, from bank records to emails to testimony of Hunter Biden's partners, and it includes all kinds of information. Annie, did you see the most recent thing about the Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken?
No.
Well, apparently, at the very same time that Joe Biden was saying to Ukraine, hey, you've got to fire that prosecutor because he's not going after corruption enough, when that prosecutor was actually investigating Burisma, Anthony Blinken, who's now the Secretary of State, back then he was one of the deputy secretaries of state under John Kerry. He gave a speech in Berlin in 2015 in which he was saying how well the Ukrainian government was doing, how they were cleaning things up, how they were investigating corruption. The exact opposite of what Joe Biden used to justify threatening to withhold $1 billion in aid if they didn't fire the prosecutor who was investigating his son's company, Burisma.
I mean, it's so filthy, it's so dirty, and it's out there in plain sight. But as is any court proceeding, and I assume in a investigation like this as well, that you have to figure out how to push, make the evidence be provable to your conclusion. We're still talking about the Bidens, but I want to shift on this breaking news, which I am seeing scroll across the televisions in here, and I'm going to read to you from an NBC News report. Federal prosecutors have indicted Hunter Biden, son of President Joe Biden, on gun charges. Court documents show Biden was indicted in Delaware federal court on 3 counts tied to the possession of a gun while using narcotics. 2 counts are tied to Biden allegedly filing a form claiming that he was not using illegal drugs at the time he purchased a Colt Cobra revolver in October 2018. The 3rd count alleges that he possessed a firearm while using a narcotic. NBC News reports the historic indictment against the son of a sitting president comes after a plea deal that might have ended a years-long probe into Hunter Biden fell apart, and just as House Republicans have launched an impeachment inquiry in an effort to seek bank records and other documents from the president and his son. So I'm reading that for the first time with you here, Hans von Spakovsky. I think a lot of people see what's going on with Hunter Biden, this gun charge, the drug problem, every inch of Hunter Biden's life that we now know about from the laptop. And I think a lot of people politically are trying to say all of that has nothing to do with Joe. I wonder what your thoughts are on that.
Well, all I can say about those gun charges is it's about time. What took them so long? Yeah. And my other reaction to it is, okay, that's fine. You could have filed that charge 3 years ago. Where are the felony tax evasion charges? As for whether it has anything to do with the president, well, that's what the impeachment inquiry should be looking at. That's what the Justice Department should have looked at, given all of the banking information showing literally millions of dollars flowing to the Biden family and Hunter Biden and his partners going on the same foreign trips that the vice president was on, their involvement apparently in helping to plan and organize those trips, to look at whether they were using their father's position with his full cooperation for to earn personal wealth.
Before we let you go, Hans von Spakovsky with us right now. While all this is happening and the investigation that will take place with this impeachment inquiry, which Speaker McCarthy announced earlier this week, we've seen other Republicans in the House in a razor-thin majority, Matt Gaetz specifically, pushing to make a motion to vacate the chair. I wanted to give you the opportunity to talk to us a little bit about how that bump in the road could stop progress of an impeachment inquiry, or maybe it just exists at the same time in Washington, D.C.
I guess I'm not quite clear on why Matt Gaetz is doing that. Conservatives and others have been pushing McCarthy for a while to open an impeachment inquiry. He's finally authorized it, so I'm not quite sure why now they would move to do that. The biggest other thing they have coming up, of course, is potential government shutdown and a huge fight over the budget. And, conservative members of the House, quite rightly, want spending cuts. They don't want just this huge budget continued, which is increasing our budget deficit in a way exponentially we have never seen before.
Yeah, with massive consequences on our safety and security in this country, for sure.
That's right.
Hans, thank you for being with us. We appreciate your time. Thanks for spending some of it with us.
Sure, thanks for having me.
Of course. Hans von Spakovsky, Senior Legal Fellow at the Heritage Foundation, a former DOJ lawyer and former FEC commissioner with us there. So, Hunter Biden indicted on 3 gun charges. I scrolled to the bottom of this article because I was trying to read it as it happened. NBC News had it up. Fox News didn't have it up yet. The White House has been largely silent on the investigation, reports NBC News. But the president defended his son in an interview with MSNBC's Stephanie Ruhle on May 5th. First of all, my son has done nothing wrong, the president said. I trust him. I have faith in him. Asked by Ruhle how charges against his son would impact his presidency, Biden said, it impacts my presidency by making me feel proud of him. Okie dokie. We're going to get to some more coverage on this in a little bit. We're going to pull up some reactions taking place on Fox News, but I want to take a break. I want to get to Wiggins America in studio when we come back. Thank you for being here with us today. The YouTube live chat poll for today, I said it was going to be Friday, but it turned out it was today. Are you a self-checkout person or are you a cashier attendant person? Let's settle this right here, right now. Thursday on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Go vote in the live chat poll and tell us which you are and give us a reason why in the comments as well. Wiggins America when we come back.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Frey Show.
Stewart's American Mortgage, the bagel loan is easy to access at 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. You call Stewie, you text Stewie, and you talk to him about how he can help you with your mortgage situation. When you're searching for a home and the market is pretty intense, pretty competitive, you want to make sure that you have every asset on your team to make sure that it's a big commitment for a pretty long time, that you make the right decision the first time. That right decision starts at Stewart's American Mortgage. A lot of times you'll have people who you were recommended, go see this person, get your mortgage from that person. You can go wherever you want. You don't have to go to those people. And I'd encourage you, honestly, sorry, Stewie, but if they go to that other person, and you go to Stewie, as long as you give Stewie a chance, you are going to be so impressed by how he is able to get you into that mortgage with the same low rate that you might be able to access in other places, but with no closing costs and the bagel loan. It's just the smart move. He is the best in the business. He's the best in the area. And he's a phone call or a text away. 314-324-4440. Use the bagel loan. Pay no closing costs when you get your mortgage with the bagel loan. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan. NMLS number 226715.
Mark Cox here. Different real estate agents will sell your home for different amounts of money. Don't be fooled into thinking all realtors are created equal, because they're not. Different realtors will get you different results. So the agent you choose to sell your home matters. The experience your agent has, the marketing, the database of buyers, the systems, and the capabilities of your realtor, they all matter. Why? Because how much you sell your home for matters to you. That's why I recommend you call Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty. According to MLS statistics, Gloria sells her listings for more money than the average agent, and she does it with less hassle. With 20-plus years of experience, our local real estate expert, Gloria Liu, knows how to get you the most money for your home, guaranteed. Gloria offers her sellers multiple selling options, so call her at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Innovation Refunds does not provide tax or legal advice. We work with an independent network of tax professionals and will share information with them to evaluate and process your claims. Terms and conditions apply. Ty is a paid spokesman.
I'm Ty Burrell, actor and small business owner. You can trust Innovation Refunds with your small business's ERC claim because of their SOC 2 Type 1 security compliance. And if you're a tech person, you know that's a big deal. I'm not a tech person, but I did look it up. Without this certification, how can you be sure a company can protect your information? It's not like here on the radio, where all you need to be secure is a sensor button. Check it out. So now you won't know my date of birth is or that my social security number is the password to my bank account is Ty's Cool Password 1. Uh-oh, the button's broken. Luckily, Innovation Refunds is more reliable. Don't wait. Go to innovationrefunds.com. That's innovationrefunds.com or call 1-843-REFUNDS to get started. Oh, a notification from my bank. Wait, I didn't buy a boat.
St. Louis physician Dr. Abicki created Neovitin 15 years ago to help support his own nutrition when he needed it most. Since then, Neovitin has helped thousands of people support their daily nutrition with sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and Dr. Abicki's proprietary blend. If you're ready to join many St. Louisans in supporting their nutrition, give Neovitin a try. You can find Neovitin at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
Mark Reardon sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Maholtred Ophthalmology Associates. You can too. Go to yourEyeDoc.com today. That's yourEyeDoc.com or call 314-966-5000. Ophthalmology Associates.
Hey, you are halfway through your Thursday, which means you're almost to Friday, which is really close to the weekend. I just wanted to remind you of that. 12:46 right now on the Annie Frey Show. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Are we one of your top presets?
You were giving off that vibe, so if you want to take it to that level.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Got a boogie. Got a boogie. Got a boogie. Got a boogie. I got a boogie. Got a boogie. I got a boogie. Got a boogie on my finger and I can't shake it off. See, I thought he was talking about dancing.
Does this sound like Love Shack Guy? Because this is Weird Al. This has to be Love Shack Guy.
Well, I went out to a party.
You don't want to listen to the rest of it because it just gets grosser. That first part was funny, and well, answer the question.
He does sound like he's trying to do Fred Schneider there.
I'm pretty sure he is.
Okay.
I was calling him Kevin Schneider to my
Kevin
kids.
Schneider. Yeah, no, it is Fred Schneider.
I think I might personally know Kevin Schneider.
You probably do.
I heard that. So last night we were driving back from a baseball game in Freeburg into Madison County, and we were listening to music, and what came on? It was on Sirius, and Michael Jackson's, which one was it? Oh, Beat It came on.
Okay.
And I knew that was a Weird Al song.
Eat It.
Eat It.
Not Beat It.
No.
Beat It's a Michael Jackson song.
Which is why I said a Michael Jackson song came on.
Oh, okay.
Beat It.
All right.
Yes.
All right. I thought you said something about Weird Al in there.
Do you listen to our podcasts?
I will try.
Do we ever have these conversations and you're pretty convinced that I'm the stupidest person in the room?
I think that just happened, and I regret it.
And you go back and go,
Yeah.
oh, that's how that went.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I think you were so in tune with where my story was going that
I
you
think
forgot
so.
to listen to where we were.
I think so.
So Beat It was playing. And I am enamored with how good Michael Jackson was. Now, going back, and I told my kids, I'm like, it's so sad that he ended his career that way. So I'm like, oh, there's a Weird Al song to this, and they kind of knew who he was. So we went to listen to Eat It, and then I played for them Michael Jackson's Bad, which is I'm Fat.
Yeah.
And you can't make that song anymore, I don't think.
Right.
And we went down a whole rabbit hole of Weird Al, and that one came on. I'm like, I have to play that. This has to be the same guy. Because I thought it was Kevin Schneider, but apparently it was Fred.
I've never heard that song before. But that does sound like him trying to do Fred Schneider.
Yeah.
Wiggins!
Oh, Wiggins!
Science.
Yeah, this is the science that I'm bringing you today in
Okay.
Wiggins America.
Mhm.
Couple stories that I just wanted to highlight here. Start with this one because I think that it probably affects you, Annie, the most of the 3 stories that I have here. What sound annoys you the most?
There are a lot of them.
The article suggests nails on a chalkboard, car alarms going off at 3 a.m., leaf blowers, or airplanes. Whatever the sound is, research indicates, Annie, that it can be more than just an irritant. It could be harming your health.
Oh, I know it does.
Really?
Yeah, it gives me anxiety.
That's what they're going for here. They said last week.
Misophonia. It is fully consuming. If I'm sitting next to somebody who is just eating with, I'm always thinking, don't you know that people can see you eating like that and hear you eating? Like, doesn't it bother you that you're doing that? And then it's just the constant repetitive smack. It's just, I remember my senior year of taking psychology in high school, and I remember studying about something along the lines of this, and it was the emotion or sounds that can cause anxiety are repetitive sounds that you can't control. And that is a very good explanation of how it gets under your skin. And people, there would be people who I don't want to sit next to someone who's smacking their gum. If you have the misophonia thing, it's next level. And for me, it's absolutely next level.
Do you think that if you're prone to audio, like we are working in audio, that's a personality or it's a trait that is more common for people who work in audio? Because I do have that once in a while.
Because I had this when I was in 3rd grade.
Because I had this just happen Sunday. I was at church, and I did not want to turn around because it's church. But the person behind me, it sounded like they had their hand in a bag of fruit snacks for a half an hour. I'm like, what could you possibly be doing?
But was it the sound that bothered you, or was it what you were deeming to be like a inconsiderate behavior?
It was the sound for sure, because that's what caught my attention. But then the incessant, it's what you just described. Can't control it, and it's repetitive. And then I started to rationalize, how could this possibly be going on this long? And then when I went up and got communion, I saw that it was somebody who looked like they had some issues. They had some physical issues. And so I'm glad that I didn't say anything, but it was something that it was driving me crazy. And I realized for the first time, oh, maybe that is a problem for me too, because my wife did not even hear it.
I don't think that you have that problem.
Well,
I don't think that you are overly bothered by things that are around you the way people who deal with that. Like chewing eyes, smacking gum. If somebody's clicking a pen, Sean Hannity has been clicking a pen during his segment on his show. I noticed this a couple weeks ago. Some news story was out and I wanted to follow it. And he just sits there. I don't think I have any clicky pens, but you can just hear click, 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 and then he stops. Yeah. And I'm like, how does nobody tell? Sean, we can hear it. Stop.
Yeah.
And the clicking of the pen in that instance doesn't agitate me the way like chewing noises were. I just was like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Another story here from the realm of science, of course. A computer model has reconstructed. Now I want to ask you before I get into the story, would you be okay if this technology keeps progressing? If you have great thoughts in the middle of the night, you're sleeping, you have creative thoughts, would you be
While
okay?
you're sleeping?
Yeah. Would you be okay with something monitoring that to
Hell
record
no.
that? No. Okay.
Somebody recording what you're thinking when you're sleeping?
Well, just for you, not somebody.
Oh,
but this
sure.
is
Yeah.
yours.
There is nothing just for you anymore.
That's how it starts. No.
Well,
I don't even want to know what I'm thinking in the middle of the
Man,
night.
I do, because there are times I wake up and I go, oh, that was brilliant. And then if I happen to write it down in the middle of the night and I look back at it, I'm like, no, that was stupid.
Correct.
But I would
Because
still like to know.
But I've never woken up and thought I was brilliant because of something I dreamt about. I wanted to know how something ends. But I've never been overly impressed with my ability to think when I'm sleeping.
Oh, I had a dream once I was on Conan O'Brien and I said some great joke. I'm like, oh my gosh, you got to write that down. And then I woke up in the middle of the night, wrote it down, woke back up, had no clue what was going on in that chicken scratch. But this is a real story. A computer model has reconstructed a snippet of a Pink Floyd song by reading the brain activity of people listening to the tune while in surgery. These are people who had epilepsy, who already had these electrodes in their brain that 27 people they picked for this study. They would play Another Brick in the Wall the whole time they were in the study, and then they just stop it for 15 seconds and see what their brain activity did and record the brain activity. So here's the 15 seconds that they pulled from the song, what it naturally sounds like.
Just a brick in the wall.
Okay, we all know that song. They pulled that out, and then they monitored the brain activity while it was not playing, and here's what it sounded like. That's them from memory, like playing back the song from their brains while in surgery. That is wild, and you don't want it while you sleep.
I don't even know what you just said. I don't get it, but I probably am not that smart.
It's incredible. I mean, that blew me away, that they were able to reconstruct the song from people's brain waves.
Walrus King says Annie does not know that song, LOL. He's right. He's right. But I know this one. We'll be right back.
Got a boogie. Got a boogie. Got a boogie. I got a boogie.
Surprise! Surprise! You know, surprise parties, they can be fun, right? Well, financial surprises, not so much, especially when you're retired, like finding out you owe more in taxes than you thought you would, or having to go back to work to make ends meet. Maybe you think you'll be okay, but why not double check just to be sure? Call Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions and schedule a retirement double check. Marvin and his team have been helping families plan for retirement for more than 15 years. Call 314-373-1598 to schedule your retirement double check with Marvin Mitchell at Compass Retirement Solutions. That's 314-373-1598. Don't let a financial surprise derail your retirement dreams. Give Marvin and the team a call, 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services, investments, and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and in Illinois.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Well, the kids are back in school, but they spent the whole summer messing up your house, and Zero Res is here to help you, because even if your home looks clean, it might not be. You got dust, dander, bacteria in the carpet, and the ductwork is really messy as well. So let's do something, because Zero Res is going to clean up the pizza spills and the barbecue sauce and the puppy puddles. They can do it all. Carpets, tiles, rugs, upholstery. Every surface in your home can be Zero Resified, and here is the offer for September from the cleaning pros at Zero Res. 3 rooms starting at $129. This is also a great time to get the air ducts cleaned this month. $50 off your air duct cleaning. That's going to help alleviate allergies and asthma. You'll enjoy less dust. It's just really a smart thing to do. Lower energy bills. Do it right now. Call the pros at Zero Res. $50 off your air duct cleaning. Schedule an appointment for the carpets, for the air ducts. ZeroResSTL.com, 314-474-2020. Make sure you mention my name or 97.1 FM Talk. You spell it backward or forward, it spells the same. Zero Res.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is a Fox News alert. President Biden's son is indicted. I'm Lisa Brady. 2 months after a plea deal fell apart in a tax and gun-related case, Hunter Biden is now facing federal firearms charges, indicted as part of what's now a special counsel probe.
This is only relating to Hunter Biden making false statements on a federal gun form that he was not addicted to narcotics when he had in his possession in Delaware a gun for just over a week back in 2018. This is not related to the tax cases involving Hunter Biden or any other potential charges. The special counsel said those charges relating to his taxes or lack thereof paying taxes could be brought in another district outside of Delaware.
Fox's David Spund, if convicted on the federal firearms counts and sentenced to the maximum penalty, Hunter Biden could face years in prison. He's also been under investigation for his business dealings. The president is set to speak at this hour in Maryland, focusing on the economy. He has denied involvement in his son's business dealings, and the White House has said a newly announced impeachment inquiry is baseless, centered on allegations dating back to his time as vice president. That impeachment probe is overlapping with a spending debate on Capitol Hill.
I knew people would fight or try to hold leverage for other things. I'm going to continue to focus on what's the right thing to do for the American people. And you know what? If it takes a fight, I'll have a fight.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is considering a short-term package to avoid a government shutdown at the end of this month. But some conservatives are pushing for cuts and threatening to challenge his leadership.
It's about the math. If McCarthy lacks the votes to fund the government, it's unclear how he'll ever have the votes to impeach the president. And it's doubtful McCarthy's opponents have the votes to oust him from the speakership.
Fox's Chad Pergram on the Hill. America is listening to Fox News.
Think identity theft won't happen to you? Think again. There's a new victim every 3 seconds in the U.S., over 15 million this year alone, and many don't even know they're victims. LifeLock alerts you to identity threats you could miss, even when you monitor your credit. If your identity is stolen, your dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Identity theft protection starts here.
A lot of schools talk about training the cybersecurity workforce of the future, but do they really deliver? My Computer Career has been supplying the IT workforce with thousands of skilled, certified pros for 15 years. Train with the experts in support, networking, or cybersecurity and start your career in months, not years. Upskill even faster. On campus or live online, qualified students may get financial aid, including the GI Bill. My Computer Career. Accredited, acclaimed, effective. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Mostly sunny skies going through the afternoon on this Thursday. 78 for the high. The city probably about 80, 81. Tonight, clear skies, 70s for evening plans, down to 49 for the overnight low. Friday, sunny, 78. Saturday, partly sunny, maybe a spot shower or sprinkle in the afternoon into the early evening. It's not much, 78. 78 again on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
From 5 a.m. to 9 a.m., the Mark Cox Morning Show is giving you the chance to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra for free. Be caller number 18 when they give you the number for TSO tickets on December 18th at Enterprise Center on the Mark Cox Morning Show.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be signs that your digestive system isn't working at its best? But taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil supports your daily digestive health using a special plant-based fiber called psyllium. Psyllium works by forming a gel in your digestive system to trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Metamucil's gelling action also helps to promote heart health and slows down sugar absorption to promote healthy blood sugar levels. Start feeling lighter and more energetic by taking Metamucil every day.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who pay attention to every little detail, the ones who fuss, tinker, and sweat the small stuff. Because you know the tiniest thing can make the biggest difference when it comes to keeping business moving. We get it. We're the same way, offering access to product experts to help you quickly and easily find what you need. So whatever your industry, you know you're always getting professional-grade products. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Start your Amazon business.
Hi, Ian Bauer. My first year averaged $45,000 a month in sales. Now I'm at $90,000 a month and hardly working.
In 2020, Americans made $50 billion selling on Amazon. Join America's Amazon expert, Dylan Frost, where anyone can learn how to start an Amazon business for only $49.99 guaranteed or your money back. Attend the Wholesale Formula 2-hour seminar Saturday, September 30th, 11 a.m. at the Aviator Hotel, Lindbergh Boulevard, St. Louis, Missouri. Register at thewholesaleformula.com.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Want immediate cash for your home or see what your home is really worth in today's market? Find out for free from the local experts, my friends Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. Check out thegelmanteam.com today. That's thegelmanteam.com.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us, that's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Is AI going to kill us all, Mr. Musk?
I hope not.
What do you
strike me? I think
do you feel like the government can protect us from artificial
you
intelligence?
should think of the future as a series of probabilities as opposed to certainties. There is some chance that above zero that AI will kill us all. I think it's low, but there's some chance. I think we should also consider the fragility of human civilization. And if you study history, I think you realize that there's a rise and fall to every civilization. Every civilization has sort of a lifespan, so we want us to last as long as possible.
You're becoming like my most stable relationship.
Enough said.
Elon Musk says that AI will probably not kill us, but it isn't a certainty. Tyrus, I wonder what you think about Elon Musk. I mean, the brain on that guy, and then his comments on this type of stuff, because I think he knows more about it than we all do. You think AI is going to get us in the end?
It's not. I think Eli's being. I mean, again, Eli is a billionaire and genius, so I really don't think I should judge him on his judgment. But I think it's the only thing that I would challenge him on is it the AI or is it the designers of the AI? So we have, if it's a woke AI, then it's going to continue to be woke. If it's a super conservative AI, then it's going to always push to be more conservative. So I think the issue is going to be, as far as AI goes, is who is mother, as they say in the movie.
No.
Like, where does it? So that's what we have to worry about. I think we have to worry about if AI is being pushed by somebody with a woke. Like, if this administration was in charge of AI, I would throw everything that I wouldn't even have a toaster in my.
You've been walking through your kitchen staring your toaster down the whole way through.
Yeah, like I'd go to my refrigerator and be like, I'd like some milk, and then I'd hear, what is milk? Like, well,
do you want white milk or do you want chocolate milk? That would be the question.
Milk comes from a cow. Well, that's your truth. No, it's fact.
You can get milk from almonds.
Yeah, milk can be anything. So I don't want to get into that with my AI, because I just walk around with a cup of water throwing it on everything.
Tyrus,
so,
you also said it would be mother. I understand that you believe in the gender of the person who would be in charge.
Yes, I would. That all things come from mother. So, and I'm going to stand by that. And like, again, I'm not a zoologist, but I feel pretty confident in that statement, and I'm willing to stand by that. So you can quote me on that I said all things come from mothers, which, as we know, are female, and I stand by that.
Yeah, I think you absolutely should. I wonder if you were able to hear Senator John Kennedy with the Secretary of State from my state, Illinois, Alexi Janulius. Were you able to take in John Kennedy's rendition of Genderqueer and All Boys Are Blue?
Greg could not wait to play it on the Gutfeld show.
Did he play it?
Yes, and I got into a little bit of a debate. I'll send you the clip, and then showered for a really long time. Couldn't eat any food because the taste in my mouth was just ruined. But it brought a good point, because the argument on the other side is it's a memoir. And that's their argument, that it's a memoir and we're attacking the gay community or the LGBTQ plus community. And my argument is this: let's take the gay out of it and put it in heterosexual terms. So if that was a description of a woman's first time with a man described in that way, I wouldn't allow my daughter to read it either.
Correct.
Because, and I think here's the issue. The problem is the sexualization of the LGBT community, is that they try to paint this narrative that it's about the sex is the most important thing. And it's not. Just like it's not for us on the breeders community. It's not, when my daughter asked me about having a boyfriend and what's that about, my first sentence is, well, the first thing you have to do is you got to know how to do this and this. No. Does he open the door for you? Does he hold your hand? Is he polite to you? Does he bring you flowers? Like, this is what it is when you like someone, and these feelings, and this is what it feels like to have your heart broke. And I would be doing the same thing for if one of my children was gay. I have 6 children. There's a chance that I'll probably have to experience some of that, and we've talked about it. Well, one of my children was having questions about those type of things, but it's not. It shouldn't be about sex. And here's the thing. And there was one of the gentlemen on the show is a gay man, and he was like, "We are tired of," and he said, "quote, it's usually white liberal elite women telling us that they're fighting for us, and what they're fighting for, we don't want any part of." Right. Nobody wants a book like that. Needs to be at the discretion of the parents. They keep grouping our kids together. And they're like, well, a 13-year-old should be able to read that. And I said, how do you know? You don't know my kid. My 9-year-old is more mature than my 13-year-old. So again, when it comes to talking to them about life circles and birds and the bees, that we used to call it, that's at my discretion because I know my children and I know who can handle it and who can't. When you sexualize things, especially with boys, you have to treat it with a respect, and you have to teach them that you respect your body, and more importantly, you respect the person you want to do these things with. And it's a lot of responsibility. You don't want to be a dad at 16. You don't want to make a mistake. You don't want to end up with a disease. You don't want to do something for peer pressure because you want to fit in. These are things that parents that we have to talk about with our kids, and it would be nice if we had support of our counselors and teachers. And they want to paint this narrative that we don't, and they want to paint the narrative that every parent is the bad parent from Dirty Dancing, and that's not true in any way, shape, or form. Which, by the way, if you watch Dirty Dancing now, Dad's kind of a good guy. Just putting that out there.
Yeah.
But and that's the thing is like they are grouping our children and trying to expose them to things. That is a book that you would say, and if you wanted to say that book, and I would say it needs to be, let's say 9th grade and up, right? That is a book that you need to get a parent's permission slip signed saying that you could read or talk about in the classroom. So the parents can read the material and understand what's going on with their kids. And if they have questions, they can do it. But that's part of working together and respecting family values. And then you have another question. What if my household is a Christian household, so where we don't talk? Marriage is you have to be married first before you have sex. We consider sex a sin in our household. Maybe that's your mindset, or you're Muslim, or whatever your situation is.
Yeah.
And it sounds like I can't talk about this because we don't talk about this in my home. That needs to be respected just as much as somebody who wants to talk about it, because that's an elective class. Sex education was an elective class when I was in school. It was your health class, and then you signed up for sex education or you didn't. Some parents I don't want the school teaching my children about sex. I don't want my children learning how to put on a condom with a banana. And they had to respect that.
Yeah.
Grooming is way different than grooming.
I want to ask you about, when we're talking about what's a school going to educate a kid, because there's absolutely an understandable, it's biological reason to educate growing children who are not 18-year-olds and adults yet on how more children happen. That is a natural question that they're going to seek out the answer to, and there is a scientific biological explanation for it, and it shouldn't be shied away from in education. But we are so far beyond that. I want to ask you about a movement that is way closer. Everybody who's listening right now, this is way closer to your home than you actually think it is. But the teachers in school districts all across this country are being told that if a student comes up to you and the student's name is Steve and they come up and they say, I want to go by Emily and identify as a female, teachers are being told you use with the parents the name that the child was registered with, and you are not allowed to tell that parent when you're at parent-teacher conference. I mean, maybe the kid is struggling. Maybe the kid comes to school and never has clean clothes, and you finally get to sit down with the parents and ask if there's a way that you can help or be of assistance or move the ball down the field. But you are not allowed to say in that conversation, Steve told me he wants to be called Emily and be referred to as she. I want to know what you think about that. A teacher's not allowed to say that to parents in a lot of school districts around the country right now.
Do you know what that's teaching them?
That adults can have secrets with your kids.
Yeah, it's teaching them that your feelings are a secret, and there's something wrong with you, and we have to protect you. But the other thing is this: we got to know our kids, and I think if you are paying attention to your children and noticing that Steve wants to go by Emily, there was probably some behaviors before that with reactions and talking and stuff. Because here's the thing. Since we don't know what the definition of a woman is anymore, so let's just give them that, okay? Let's just give them that. What is a woman? It's whatever you want it to be. Okay, great. So then there's no reason to augment your body because a woman can be anything. So let's just stick with what you've got going on here. So if a child wants to be identified as this and they can be anything, they should be celebrated, and the parents should be brought in. And if the parents have an issue with it, then you're like, we can arrange counseling sessions between you and your child to help them during this transition. Because chances are, according to like a Dylan Mulvaney, he's changed at least 4 different times, and during just the course of a couple bad commercials. So then this might change. So the parents should be involved. But again, parents, we have to get off technology, and we have to get back into our kids, because we should know things just by raising our children and being around them. I'm not going to get into jokes or stereotypes, but certain things you pick up on. And I think if you wait for the school to get involved or the school to make decisions, you're already in trouble. But the idea that a teacher who's supposed to be a court reporter, because maybe he's being that way because things are happening to him at the home where he's being treated or forced to be acting a different gender. You don't know what is going on, and it's your job to find out and report, because children mimic what they see or what they're around or what their environment is, and that's a fact. And that's why we don't see this as much as only in the Western world that we're seeing this behaviors at this high of a number. We're not seeing this anywhere else. So just looking at the science and the numbers of stuff. So I'm a teacher. If a child all of a sudden comes to me one day and has a complete behavior change, I'm a court. I have to notify. I have to contact the principal, the counselors. I should contact mom and dad that I've noticed my student is acting strange and is having questions about their gender, and they're asking me questions about sex and stuff. Have they been exposed to something? Is something going on at the home? Is there something that we need to address? Is the child okay? That should be the first line, is making sure the child's okay and understanding why. Because it might not just be like they woke up one morning and felt that way. There could be things going on at home that make them feel they have to be that way. And again, we don't know if it's good or bad until we find out. If it's something that they've always been that way, then they should be celebrated and supported, and mom and dad need to be educated.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. You have more issues with race in schools than sexuality. That's a fact. As a teacher, kids are very accepting. They're very accepting of each other, because what they hear at the dinner table, when their parents get upset, and some of our parents, we're all human, and they complain about who's taking their jobs and stuff. And unfortunately, usually it's a different minority group that gets blamed for their problems. So it's more, we're still dealing with that type of, because they echo what they hear. But when a child is openly gay or feels that way, there is less non-tolerance from kids today. So we need to look at why this needs to be a secret, because the whole point was to be proud of who you are and to be celebrated. So why would this need to be a secret, unless you're just basically trying to say that parents are the problem? And that's just as bad as racism and saying that parents are the problem.
Yeah.
You're just assuming parents are the problem because it's your fantasy. It's literal. They take everything we do literally. They make everything we do literally, and everything you do is feelings for them. So they can adjust it and flip it any way they want to. Anything I say to you is a literal fact. If I say I spanked my child, if he was doing something out of line, they'll always say I assaulted them.
Right. Yeah. The battle is fought with words, and for whatever reason, they always get away with winning it that way.
But just their side, not our side. Everything we say is literal.
I wanted to, before we let you go, we're speaking with Tyrus. He's a Fox News contributor. He is on Gutfeld. He's the co-host of the Tyrus and Tim podcast, and his book, Nuff Said, is available right now for pre-order. It's been brought to my attention through a mutual connection that you and I have through Pappy's Barbecue here in St. Louis. Yeah, exactly. Dogs for Our Brave. You got to meet the executive director of Dogs for Our Brave while you were in St. Louis wrestling at the Chase. The website is dfob.org, and they are auctioning off a charity custom motorcycle, and this helps train dogs for veterans. It is an incredible thing that they're doing, and I just understood that while you were here in town, you had the opportunity to meet the executive director.
Well, the executive director was cool, but the star of the show was the dog in training.
We have a picture of you right now on our YouTube live stream with this beautiful dog.
Yes. And my daughter was ready to kidnap him. And I told her, we cannot do that. He's training. And once she understood what he was training to do, I've worked with Canine for Companions with, of course, Dana Perino and their great program out here on the East Coast. So anytime I can help or be involved with that, because it's a wonderful, wonderful program, and it helps a lot of people. It brings back dignity, independence, and it's always, there's a thing about a dog, man. There's nothing in the world that can change a bad day faster than a dog that comes up to you and helps you. And so it's therapeutic, it's comforting, and more importantly, you get a little bit of independence back, and it really helps families. I hear that a lot, where the dog helps so much that the wife and the family, or the husband and the family, they get a little bit of normalcy at times. So this is an amazing program.
Well, I wanted to share the photo that we have of you and your beautiful daughter and that amazing dog while you're in here in St. Louis, and just give a shout out to Dogs for Our Brave, which you can go to dfob.org to learn more about. And, since you had that connection, I wanted to give you that opportunity to speak on it. So appreciate it. Thank you.
That was a great treat. That was a great treat.
Well, Tyrus, we'll talk to you again next week. We always love talking, especially this stuff when it comes to parenting and stepping out of politics for a little bit. It's the more important stuff, and we're always grateful that you share it with us here.
Thank you very much.
Talk to you soon. Tyrus, co-host of the Tyrus and Timp podcast. He's on Gutfeld, Fox News contributor, and author of Nuff Said and Just Tyrus. The other book, his first book that he came out, was great. I listened to it, did the audiobook, and it was a fantastic read. All right, we're going to take a quick break. More Annie Frey Show around the corner. The YouTube live chat poll, we had a little bit of discussion on this yesterday, but now we're asking you to weigh in on the Annie Frey YouTube channel, self-checkout or cashier attendant. Which are you going to and why? I'm going to feature a couple of your responses when we come back here on the Annie Frey Show. We'll get to some more topics of the day, and Ryan will join us once again in studio. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Frey Show.
Think of the tender things that we were working on. Slow change may pull us apart. Wanna like get in your heart, baby. Don't you forget about me.
Air Comfort Service wants to remind you that you can call Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation and get a free second opinion on commercial repairs. I've talked to you about how Air Comfort Service has helped me replace a furnace, helped me replace an air conditioner and a water heater. We haven't had them do the insulation in the house yet, but that's probably next on the list. If you are a place of business, or if you're somebody who works in an office and you're the building manager or the operations manager, the office manager, and you know that there are AC or furnace system issues right now in your building, reach out to Air Comfort Service and have them come out and give you that free second opinion on those repairs that you might need. If you're looking at a steep repair bill or questioning the quoted repair that you've already gotten, give Air Comfort Service a call at 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. I am a multiple paying customer of Air Comfort Service, but if you don't want to take my word for it, go check out their amazing reviews online. They stand by them, and they will give you the same great service they've given myself, my family, and those many people who went on to Google or wherever it is to give them the digital thumbs up. 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com.
Now is the time to replace your home's exterior during Banner Construction's 30th anniversary with same as cash financing. Beautify the exterior of your home and save with famous James Hardie siding and Pella windows. James Hardie looks and feels like real wood with no maintenance. Call now for special financing. Let Banner Construction's exterior design team give you a free quote. Call 314-569-1050. That's 569-1050 or online, bannerconstruction.com. And have a banner day.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI. Or download the app today.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Hello,
I am Missouri State Treasurer Vivek Malik. How would you like a tax break and help kids? You can with the Most Scholars program. When you make a donation to Most Scholars to provide scholarships, you can cut up to half of your state income taxes. The Most Scholars tax credit is available for individuals and businesses. Learn more by going to mostscholars.com, or you may call 573-751-8533.
Sponsored by the Missouri State Treasurer's Office.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands to treat ED at up to 95% off. That's right, the same active ingredient as the brand name for 95% less. It's the same ED medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Fall is just around the corner. Make sure your furnace is ready to safely heat your home when the first cold snap hits. For a heating system check, visit aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Aliens unveiled at a congressional hearing in Mexico. Jazz Shaw from HotAir.com will react. Also, Senator Eric Schmidt on Thursday afternoon.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk.
Come and move that in my direction. So thankful for that, it's such a blessing, yeah. Turn every situation into heaven, yeah. Oh, you are my sunrise on the darkest day. Got me feeling some kind of way. Make me wanna savor every moment slowly, slowly. You fit me, tailor-made, love how you put it on.
So did you like the Weird Al song from earlier?
I kind of expected the joke. So in that sense, I was not super impressed, but I didn't dislike the song.
How come you said you expected the joke when he said, "What? It's got a boogie."
Yeah.
Got a boogie. How would he say it? How would Kevin Schneider say it?
How would Kevin Schneider? Fred Schneider?
No, how would Kevin Schneider say it?
Oh, Kevin Schneider doesn't sing, so he would just kind of nod.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's like a groupie.
Fred Schneider's brother. Yeah. Now, Fred Schneider, he'd say, "I got a boogie."
Just like Weird Al did. Yeah.
Kinda.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and he just kept
right.
repeating it. But then when he said at the end, "I got a boogie on my finger and I can't get it off," or whatever, you said, and we could roll the tape.
I said, "Oh man, I didn't expect that." I was being sarcastic though.
I don't believe it.
No,
I was watching
the whole
your
time. I'm
reaction.
like, this is gonna end up as a booger, and if it doesn't, they're sort of setting up a booger joke without saying it. And then he's like, "It's on my finger." Okay.
Which one do you respect more? The setting up the booger joke and then the
I would have
subverting
really
expectations.
Loved, I would have really loved if he had just kind of let it lie.
I was going through Weird Al song after Weird Al song with my kids. And the funny thing was, I mean, do you know when Weird Al first started putting out albums?
Oh gosh, maybe early 80s?
I'm pulling it up right now. Because as I was going through his discography.
I know he was on Dr. Demento in the late 70s, but I don't know about releasing albums.
Was My Bologna the first song
I think so.
that he released?
1983.
Okay.
He came out as Weird Al Yankovic. Do you remember that album cover? I do.
Yeah, I think I do.
Do you remember that album cover?
A little bit, yeah.
I don't know if it's going to come through on my camera. But I played Ricky for my kids. Which is, "Oh, Ricky, you're so fine." But it's all an I Love Lucy thing. And my kids were like, "Oh, it's Ricky, like Mickey." And I'm like, like, I love, you don't know.
No, they wouldn't know
they
that.
have no idea. And just going through, because the interesting thing about the way, first of all, Weird Al's production is really good.
Yeah, it's excellent.
And he's actually, I mean, it's all parody, but he's a good singer.
He can do voices.
Man,
yes.
he is really
pretty
good.
well.
a lot of the songs are great songs. It's my baloney.
Yeah.
Balloona.
I think that was his first one that he got played.
That's off the first album here. But this was such a like walk down memory lane for me because he parodied the great songs
Of every era.
and a lot of those songs I hadn't heard the actual songs in a really long time.
Yeah.
And I was going through and I still know all the words. Isn't it weird how you can know so much about something and you haven't thought about it in 25 years?
Yeah, it just comes right back.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a song in forever, and I can still sing every single word.
Oh, man.
When it comes on.
Have you ever been singing a song and you know the song and you're singing the words, but if somebody asked you what are the next words, you couldn't say them without hearing the music?
Yeah.
That is just, that is a God thing that the brain is that smart.
It is. There is something to that where.
I told him to come in.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Okay. Annie.
Yeah.
I set you up there.
There is something to that to where you can remember things so much better in rhythm and in metric and in poem sometimes than you can if somebody just gives you information.
So Ethan has just come in here with a haul of things. Take those over to Ryan Wiggins.
All of them?
I like what I see through those plastic bags.
I made a trip.
No.
I did.
No.
I went.
You went already?
I got a letter from them yesterday.
You're kidding me.
No.
That's awesome.
They were listening or somebody told them?
Yes. They had people stopping by yesterday at the Little Debbie outlet.
No, it worked.
And I said, oh my gosh, Ryan's not going to get his double fudge rounds. So I went and bought the rest of them that they had.
Oh my gosh.
These are not for you, but they're for us. They'll go in the office, but the fudge rounds, the double-decker fudge rounds in there, which I cleaned them out. I bought them all for you. You can take those.
They're for anybody on our show. First come, first serve.
Anybody
is what you're saying.
You are a diabetic, which is why I'm not putting them in your office. I'm putting them by Brad.
I've been called diabetic. I don't know that I've ever been called a diabetic.
Ethan, stay here. So walk us through. So first, let me say, yesterday on the show, Ryan had made a comment off the air that he had like the scoop on this new Little Debbie outlet.
Yeah, it's only been around for less than a year, I think.
I know the whole story.
Oh, you do?
I know. Yes. I
can't wait.
I can tell you the story of the Little Debbie outlet in Roxana.
Okay.
First of all, great people.
Oh, yeah?
Second of all, unassuming building in Roxana, and you go in. And the reason why they are a Little Debbie outlet is because the people who own the store, he runs a Little Debbie, he stocks. He buys the stuff, and he's the stocker.
Okay.
So it's just the extra over stuff that they have, or maybe if there's some stuff that might be just a hair past the freshness date, which, let's be honest, if I found how old would a Little Debbie cake have to be in your pantry to find it in your pantry for you to be like, I can't eat that?
Oh,
I'm not asking you. I'm asking Ryan and Brad, or Ethan and Brad.
They would have to.
What?
I'm not even looking at the date, honestly.
Completely.
It's just
yeah.
all right, hey, it's here.
I don't go by date. I go by taste. If I eat it, I'm like, ugh.
Isn't there a
then I'll throw it
concession
away.
that there's something in those things that makes them timeless?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
it's
what
not like it's fruit.
That's what they always say about these kinds of things. They'll survive the apocalypse.
They're apocalypse-proof foods.
Yeah.
Stock up on that.
So I got this letter yesterday. I was at my son's baseball game, and this just I opened my email up and saw this, and I laughed out loud when I got it because I thought, well, of course.
This is awesome.
And okay, I gotta pull it up here. So they reached out to me, and they were talking to me about hearing about it on the air and people contacting them, and Brad reached out to me, and Ashley, I believe is his wife's name. We heard the discussion about our little family business and wanted to reach out and thank you for the exposure. We are thrilled for the word to have spread like it has.
That's awesome.
And I just wanted to remind everyone that Ryan was like, don't ever say where this
yeah,
place
no
is.
joke. Ryan didn't want to say a word.
No, I really didn't. I was telling you guys off air because I'm like, I got big plans this weekend.
And we weren't going to say where it was.
No.
And then one of our 3 people on our Annie Frey Show Twitch gave the specific
Everybody
address.
else is on YouTube and
Mhm.
Facebook, and this one guy knew it.
A little bit about us. We are a family-owned Little Debbie distributorship that services the St. Louis metro area from Florissant to Staunton. Our store is located in Roxana, where we sell Little Debbie products. This is such a niche industry, and I just love every part of it.
This is great.
Little Debbie ice cream.
That's one of the reasons I wanted to go, because I've never had that before. They have candles.
Just slow down here, Skippy. Better made chips and popcorn, classic cookies, and Amish country snacks, meat sticks, licorice, and candles.
Yes. They have fudge round candles.
I know. I almost bought it for meat sticks. Yeah, like local stuff. And I almost bought you the fudge round candle, and I was going to save it for Christmas. I'm like, he's going to buy this candle before Christmas.
Yeah, I'm going to buy it for my dad.
Well.
Oh, he's not listening.
I hope he is. Just,
now he knows.
Because we also do sell furniture, toys, small appliances, general merchandise from Walmart, Amazon, Sam's Club, and other big box stores at 25 to 50% off retail pricing. We would love to hook you up and Ryan up with some double-decker oatmeal cream pies.
Heck yeah.
We even have oatmeal cream pie scented candles that smell amazing, and they look forward to seeing you Saturday at 8 a.m. That's what they wrote in here.
If I can make it sooner, I will.
The address is 301 South Old Edwardsville Road in Roxana, and they're open Tuesday. I took a picture of their hours. It's mostly 10 to 5, Saturday 8 to 1. And I mean, it is what I just explained to be is what it is. It's not a big operation. I met their most gorgeous little 1-year-old daughter who was in there with mom, and he's running the route, and she's sitting there selling the Little Debbies. And I paid for all of this. No, none of this was gifted to me. I paid for all of it because I didn't want to go scoop all of the fudge rounds up or whatever. And I wanted to be a paying customer since we talked about them. And I also wanted to get you your fudge rounds in case you went on Saturday. And because we did talk about it, they were gone.
I have never seen a double-decker fudge round.
We've been talking. How long have we been? How long have we been talking about double-decker fudge rounds?
I think I remember going last year, over a year ago. I stopped at a gas station and bought one, and it was a day that I was off, and I texted you a picture of a double-decker fudge round just to let you know that I was having a good time.
So walk us through I got all of this for $28.
That's why I wanted to go, because I figured it would be amazing.
That's a lot.
I knew these granola bars were cheaper than anywhere else you could get them. So I was definitely going for that, but I didn't know what else they were going to have.
So, well, tell the people these granola bars. Talk about what they are and what I got.
These are Sunbelt granola bars. They are made by, or they have a partnership with the same bakery, I guess, as Little Debbie. And they are the best, you can attest to this.
Yeah,
they're the best tasting granola bars in the store. And just like with everything else, inflation, they used to be something like $2 or $2.50 in the store. Well, now they're probably $3.50, just like everything else. And so this store I saw was selling them back for what you could have gotten them for a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, well, I'm going to go there and stock up. And you already did that for me.
Are those like the crunchy granolas?
No, they're super soft, which is why they're good.
Now they're very soft. That's what's unique about them is that they're not crunchy granola at all. In fact, they're like extra soft. And then they put fudge on these. There's a couple other types in here it looks like that I have not had. What is this one? Peanut butter. No, I've never had that.
I just got what didn't look weird to me. And I say that I'm not trying to insult the other ones, but the other ones were taking some liberties that I wouldn't have.
Yeah, wasn't there like a peaches and cream version or something weird? And I was going to try these because I'd never seen some of these types before too. So
like all of that stuff, my kids would eat all of it. My kids would eat anything in there, but I don't want peaches and cream granola bars. I'm just like, give me just a granola or a chocolate chip. So what about the rest of the stuff?
So these
show them to the camera too.
These right here are the like the gas station version. These aren't the ones you buy the full box of. These are the ones you just like single take, and they're fantastic. These are the ones we have in our little mini mart back here. Once in a while.
Did they have fudge rounds?
Once in a while. I think we've been out of stock for a while.
She told me to throw one double-decker oatmeal pie in that, and then she sold it to me as if it were a box instead of as individuals.
Yeah. And the rest of these, I'm actually familiar with all of these except for the banana marshmallow pies. So I think I'm having a marshmallow pie, but that's a banana flavor.
I think I'm going to like that. I think most people might not like that, but I think I'm going to like it.
Well, you should try them then.
Is that like what are they usually covered in chocolate?
I don't
like
remember.
A moon pie?
Yeah, these look like moon pies, so that's probably similar.
With like a marshmallow cream on the inside and then a banana coating or whatever.
I'll tell you, the way that I discovered it is we went up to, here's got me advertising for everybody now. We went up to a pinball bar in Wood River. that has not been open for a long time, or they were somewhere else and they moved to Wood River, called Atomic Pinball. And you pay $10 to get in the door, and you just play all the pinball you can play. Well, I took my boys up there, and we had a really good time for an hour. We left. We ate at King Louis, and then we drove past.
Root beer float, King Louis.
Dude, no joke. I haven't been there forever.
And fried mushrooms and a root beer float.
I'm sorry, I don't know about King Louis.
It is a dive,
go there
and
now.
it is. Well, I mean, King Louis is literally like you could. I think
It's right up the street.
walk from King Louis to get your. You could get some Little Debbie's and then some King Louis.
And then, and so driving past King Louis on my way back to the highway is where I just saw this store, and I freaked out, and my boys actually got afraid because I think I screamed
For the Little Debbie outlet?
when I saw the Little Debbie store, and I'm like, oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. That exists? And it was on that side road that I never would have found it.
You never, ever would have expect something like that to be there. It's right by the refinery. I think there's like a deer reserve that goes right along there. My husband and I used to have close family that lived in Wood River, very close there, so we used to go around that area all the time. And I mean, it's like a fun little adventure. So
it's great. I mean, we made a whole evening of it, and I think I'm both happy and depressed at the same time that advertising is working.
Went really well. Yeah.
Apparently, because I really, really was like, oh, I got this little gem.
You know what I think, though? I think that if you are a reliable customer, they might be able to have like a Ryan Wiggins order in the back set aside.
You know what they need to do is like Blockbuster used to have, like, oh, this is staff picks
whatever
section.
you're going to advice that you're going to give a new small business, and you're going to start with Blockbuster. What?
I mean, that's a good point.
What? Try Netflix. Go that route.
You know how Netflix is so good at doing business? Well, I want to have a section at the Little Debbie store.
Like Ryan's Picks.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I mean, I'm pretty certain if you went there Saturday at 8 a.m., they would be very happy to see you and consider that suggestion.
Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. With a cardboard cutout.
Like I bring my own?
Yeah.
I
Let me just set this up here.
As heard on the radio.
That's cool. Well, thanks. This is really neat.
This is a lot.
I mean, the fact that you went there after work yesterday.
No, I went this morning.
Or this morning.
Yeah,
and
that's why I wanted to see if you had gone to work yet.
Got all this. Oh, that's why you were texting me.
I was
going to
tell you to come with me.
Ah, dang it.
But you decided to get to work early for the first time in forever.
I was really early this morning.
He was early enough that I walked by. I was like, boy, you're here
I
early.
texted him at 8:30.
Yeah, well, it's because we got a remote tomorrow, and I'm getting a bunch of stuff done. So,
Were they excited to see you this morning?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think so. I think they'd be excited to see anybody who walked in that door.
Sure.
They'd be excited to see you, Ethan.
Just with the connection to, just getting the letter out and so quickly being back to him.
Yeah. You ask Ryan that question after Saturday.
I'm going to walk in.
You
I'm
can
just
do a
be
whole
like,
segment on it.
Here I am.
Yeah.
Like, who the heck is this guy?
What's the first thing? You didn't go through the rest of it. Oatmeal pies and zebra cakes.
No, we've got all of it.
Did you say all that?
Zebra cakes,
zebra
cosmic
cakes,
brownies.
Yep.
Cosmic brownies. What are you going to eat first?
The double-decker fudge round.
Are you gonna?
Gotta say it, Steve. Locking it in.
Ryan is just another person eating a fudge round on somebody else's dime.
Yep.
Man,
look, if you're 5'3",
you thought of that joke yesterday.
No, I didn't.
And
I
then
just
you
thought
went
of it
there
now.
this morning, all to set up a great out. Congratulations, that was the perfect out. Brad just missed playing the music.
These are radio things. Despacito. All right, let's have some snacks. We'll be right back.
Oh yeah, ya me está gustando más de lo normal. Todo mi
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Despacito, deja que te diga cosas al oído, para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo. Despacito, quiero desnudarte a besos despacito, firmo en las paredes de tu laberinto y hacer de tu cuerpo todo un manuscrito.
RulerFoods.com. We are always looking for ways to save money, kind of like what we were talking about right here. And Ruler Foods is I'm going to say it's one of the most impactful ways that my family has drastically been able to change our behavior and the way we shop, and to save on big grocery shopping purchases at one time. Because Ruler Foods, they have the brands that you buy every day in your normal locations, they have them for less. And they have Kroger brands at Ruler Foods prices. So really, really great brands that you can shop for less. So it makes a whole lot of sense. If you haven't given it a chance yet, if you've driven past it and you're like, I'm not going in there for whatever particular reason, you're in a hurry, or you just, I know where every aisle, I know where every product I get is in every aisle. Well, you're paying for that in other places. You might not have to pay so much at Ruler Foods. You might be able to get more in your grocery cart or just leave more in your checking account. Go online right now to rulerfoods.com to find the one that's closest to you. And I want to remind you to donate and purchase diapers at any of the 10 Ruler Food area locations now through September 29th for the St. Louis Area Diaper Bank. Our sponsorship, or excuse me, I should say partnership with Princess Storm at Hot 104.1 has this great diaper drive, and we are so grateful for the opportunity to support those really great efforts that she's doing. So show up, Ruler Foods, donate some diapers, and save money on your groceries. RulerFoods.com.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
No paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
CEO of ERTC.com. The Employee Retention Tax Credit Program provides up to $26,000 per W-2 employee. If you're confused about the program, stop right now before it's too late. Don't fall for false promises and risk your business. All ERTC companies are not the same. The bottom line, there's no such thing as guaranteed eligibility, and being innovative with tax filings can lead to an audit. At ERTC.com, we won't mislead you to attest to your own eligibility. At ERTC.com, everything is done in-house by expert CPAs, and there's no cost to get started. With the ERTC.com Fast Track Refund Program, you may qualify to get your refund in as soon as 48 hours. Get started today at ERTC.com.
Get your free refund information now. 800-200-9080. 800-200-9080. That's 800-200-9080.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
I'm Jim Onder. Have questions after being injured in an accident? We'll match you with the Onder Law team that's right for you and your case.
Onder Law. Call 314 or 618-9000 to learn more.
Let's celebrate our freedom. Mark Cox here, inviting you to join me September 15th at Freedom Fest at Sugar Creek Winery in Defiance. It's going to be a celebration of our great nation and St. Charles County, the reddest county in the state. They're going to raffle off an AR-15 and honor local fallen patriot Jared Schmitz with a special bourbon. Again, tickets are just $50. You can get yours right now while they last at stcharlesgop.com. That's stcharlesgop.com.
We were talking about it yesterday. This is your chance to weigh in on today's Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll. Self-check or cashier? Reminder, all things being equal, so the line's the same. You go to the self-check or you go to the cashier? We want to know. Let us know. We will tell you the results in about an hour, 1:53 right now. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Searching for truth in a world of angles, positions, and outright lies. This is 97.1 FM Talk.
What's wrong with me? Why do I feel like this? I'm going crazy now. No more gas in the red. Can't even get started. Nothing heard, nothing said. Can't even speak about it.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Instagram at The Annie Frey Show.
It's a thief in the night to come and grab you. It can creep up inside you and consume you. A disease of the mind, it can control you. It's too close for comfort.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Thanks for being here with us this afternoon. I want to just touch on this here a little bit. Mitt Romney's news yesterday.
I don't have any question in my mind that I don't want if I had to run again. I just don't think that we need another person in their 80s. I'm a little long of tooth already. We don't need more like me. The issues of the day relate to China, climate change, AI, and a lot of guys in their 80s who know how to deal with those issues.
So, what is he saying there? A lot of guys in their 80s know how to deal with those issues?
Don't know
how to deal with those issues?
Yeah.
I actually think it's good that he's stepping out. Mitt Romney becomes his own distraction just by virtue of being present. I don't think that seat's going to end up not going red. So I think that the Senate will be a better Senate without Mitt Romney. There's a huge opportunity for the Republican Party. Huge. I agree. This is kind of where I'm like, gosh, I'm pulling back and forth on this thing. When he says we don't need another politician who's 80, I agree with everything he says there. But then I'm getting a lot of feedback from people who are saying that the only reason that Donald Trump is saying that is because he's trying to, or excuse me, that Mitt Romney is saying that is because he's trying to jab at Donald Trump. And I just am like, maybe he is, maybe he isn't, but maybe he's right. In that he is an old guy, and if he feels like he's lost his fastball, he should get the heck out of there.
I don't know. I watched that whole clip that he put out, the professional one, because he did an interview too. But that everything he said in it was very planned, and it did seem like he was taking shots at both sides. But the shots he was taking at Biden were things that are very, very old school Republican, that are very, like Bush Republican stuff. And so it seemed like it was kid glove, in my opinion, whereas he kind of was going after Trump with a little bit more hard stuff.
It's not surprising that Mitt Romney doesn't like Trump. But it's actually better for Trump if Mitt Romney is not in the Senate.
Yeah.
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 So-
yeah, this is a good move.
So I saw that Trump put on Truth Social, because it got put on Twitter, that he was reacting like, this is a great day for America. It's really one of those things where I just wish Donald Trump would just be like, I think that's a dub on my side, and I'm moving on. But of course, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, I'm just glad to hear that we know. I don't know why he's announcing now. I'm glad that we know, but I guess this gives whoever is going to replace him plenty of time.
Gives
is
whoever
the idea.
replace him, but that it also gives credence to the idea that maybe this is a jab at Trump, and it's probably a jab at Biden too. I wouldn't think that Mitch McConnell, that
Him too.
That Mitt Romney is a
You don't have
huge
to take him
Biden
off the
fan
table.
or anything like that. So I mean, I think he would prefer to see a Republican in office, not Donald Trump, and he also doesn't want to see Biden in there as well.
Mitt Romney.
One
of the greats.
Pierre Delecto.
That's the worst, isn't it? Pierre Delecto is his legacy. And the Olympics, I think. I think he saved the Olympics or something. We'll be right back.
It's a thief in the night to come and grab you. It can creep
The IRS
up
definitely
inside
ramped up operations since the pandemic slowed them down, and activity only increases from here. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. If you're currently under audit or you haven't paid your taxes in the past, now's the time to call the Lance Story Law Firm. The IRS has a published taxpayer bill of rights which says you have the right to retain legal representation because IRS problems are legal problems, and the Landstory Law Firm focuses specifically on addressing IRS issues for our clients. It's all we do. We get out in front of the IRS, devise the best resolution plan, and work to make sure you're able to take advantage of every program you're qualified to receive. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure company, call the Landstory Law Firm. We're local, located right here in St. Louis, or visit LanceDRURYLaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Landstory Law Firm, 314-238-7360.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
And paid for by Case Legal Media. Attention Marines, military personnel, families, and contractors who were stationed at Camp Lejeune. Were you present at Camp Lejeune between August 1953 and December of 1987? You may be entitled to significant compensation. For nearly 34 years, those on the Marine Corps base Camp Lejeune were exposed to contaminated drinking water, resulting in devastating injuries, including several forms of cancer, adverse birth outcomes, Parkinson's disease, and more. Until now, North Carolina's procedural laws have prevented victims from getting the justice they deserve. But passage of the Camp Lejeune Justice Act of 2022 would allow you or a loved one to file a lawsuit seeking compensation for illnesses and injuries linked to the toxic water. Call today for your free consultation, 800-291-3576. Don't wait. Let our experienced attorneys fight to get you the compensation you deserve, and you pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor. Call 800-291-3576. That's 800-291-3576. Again, 800-291-3576.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio, 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is a Fox News alert. Hunter Biden is charged in federal court. I'm Lisa Brady. The president's son facing 3 felony gun charges involving some of the allegations he had previously faced.
Hunter Biden has been indicted by the U.S. attorney serving as special counsel in his case, charged with 3 felonies connected to false statements about his drug use during the purchase of a firearm. The 3 counts carry as much as 10 years of prison time if convicted. Hunter Biden has acknowledged using crack cocaine during the time period he purchased a firearm in October of 2018. The case was originally included in a plea agreement to settle misdemeanor tax offenses. That deal blew up, however, during a court hearing in July. The indictment comes the same week House Republicans launched an impeachment inquiry against President Biden over allegations he was involved in his son's foreign business deals.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. President Biden is set to speak in Maryland, a previously scheduled speech on the economy. Earlier today, a judge in Georgia rejecting the move by the Fulton County DA to try all 19 defendants together in an election interference case. 2 defendants are granted a speedy trial set to begin October 23rd. The other 16, including former President Trump, the other 17, including former President Trump, will not be part of that trial and have no date yet. There's not much time left to avoid a strike against Ford, GM, and Chrysler's parent, Stellantis. The current contract with the UAW expires at midnight.
It sounds like the United Auto Workers Union and the Detroit 3 automakers are still pretty far apart, not quite ready for a deal, which means a strike is getting more and more likely as that clock is ticking. The UAW claims that the offers that the automakers have made so far are, quote, completely unacceptable.
Fox Business's Grady Trimble in Detroit. The automakers say they've been negotiating in good faith. America is listening to Fox News.
There are more identity threats than you realize. Even if you monitor your credit, only a little personal info needs to leak out, like your social security number or password.
Or you to become a victim.
LifeLock alerts you to threats you could miss. If your identity is stolen, a dedicated U.S.-based restoration specialist will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions, but everyone can save up to 25% off their first year with promo code NEWS. Go to LifeLock.com.
A lot of schools talk about training the cybersecurity workforce of the future, but do they really deliver? My Computer Career has been supplying the IT workforce with thousands of skilled, certified pros for 15 years. Train with the experts in support, networking, or cybersecurity and start your career in months, not years. Upskill even faster. On campus or live online, qualified students may get financial aid, including the GI Bill. My Computer Career. Accredited, acclaimed, effective. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Mostly sunny skies going through the afternoon on this Thursday. 78 for the high. The city probably about 80, 81. Tonight, clear skies, 70s for evening plans, down to 49 for the overnight low. Friday, sunny, 78. Saturday, partly sunny, maybe a spot shower or sprinkle in the afternoon into the early evening. It's not much, 78. 78 again on Sunday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan, president of McKelvey Homes. Founded in 1898, McKelvey Homes is celebrating 125 years with our inventory home sale. Get $12,500 off of all our market homes. Move in quick, lock in your interest rate, and get all the popular features and colors selected by design professionals. And for every home sold, McKelvey Homes will donate $1,898 to Dravet Syndrome Foundation. Visit McKelveyhomes.com.
Dang it. I didn't even have my headphones on.
I got you.
I'm sorry. This is unprofessional. It's Thursday, though. And in a few weeks, watch this transition.
Let's see.
It's going to be the Protecting Your Retirement Educational event. And as long as I flub words in this and they're not foul or profane, Thomas Helbig will not be mad at me. I'm pretty sure Thomas Helbig will help me get through this. And if you feel sorry for me, which I kind of feel sorry for me right now, you should show up and have cookies with me at this event because they're free and it costs you nothing. Oh, yes. And also at the Retirement Advisory Group, you are going to be able to protect your retirement when you make that shift from earning your income to saving it and living off of what you have set aside. The event is Tuesday, October 3rd at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30 p.m. Seats are limited, so make sure you go online to retirementkey.com or you can call 314-993-9494 and schedule your reservation today. Bring a friend, bring your spouse, bring your sibling or whatever it might be, and learn how you can have that worry-free retirement. Cost you nothing. You just need to reserve your spot at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30 p.m. on October 3rd. I'll be there. Would love to see you. 314-993-9494, retirementkey.com.
Station KFTK, an equal opportunity employer, is dedicated to providing a broad outreach for job vacancies at our stations. We seek the help from local community organizations in referring qualified applicants to our stations. Community organizations that wish to receive our job vacancy information can reach out to Frankie Fan at 206-577-2432. In addition, all listeners are encouraged to visit Odyssey.com for an online listing of job vacancies of all Odyssey radio stations.
Start your Amazon business.
Hey everyone, Ryan and Karen Pottinger here.
Because of the wholesale formula, last year we ran our business while we traveled to and lived in 4 different countries.
In 2020, Americans made $50 billion selling on Amazon. Join America's Amazon expert, Dylan Frost, where anyone can learn how to start an Amazon business for only $49.99, guaranteed, or your money back. Attend the Wholesale Formula 2-hour seminar Saturday, September 30th, 11 a.m. at the Aviator Hotel, Lindbergh Boulevard, St. Louis, Missouri. Register at thewholesaleformula.com.
Angie makes it easier than ever to connect with skilled professionals to get your home projects done well from repair to remodel. Book instantly at an upfront price or request quotes from multiple pros. Get started on the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
Mark Reardon sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Maholtred Ophthalmology Associates. You can too. Go to youridoc.com today. That's youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000. Ophthalmology Associates.
Fact-checking the fact-checkers daily. St. Louis's home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We appreciate you for being here with us this Thursday afternoon. Tomorrow is the Madison County GOP Golf Scramble, and we're broadcasting live there. It's at Oak Brook in Edwardsville, and I'm looking forward to that. Did you get a response back from them?
I have not.
Okay. We're checking to see if there's any room for more foursomes to sign up. So if you want to contact us and tell us that, if you're in the committee, because Brad apparently sent you an email or something. Email or text?
I only have email.
Okay. Well, we'll let you know if there's room, because we would love to have you come out and say hi, say hello. I think you still can come out regardless, but it's going to be, I think it's supposed to be a beautiful day, isn't it?
Yeah, the weather is supposed to be like 79-degree high. It's just going to be tough to be
Are you making that up, or is that actual?
It really is.
I thought that I had looked at a forecast a little bit earlier this week, and it was like looking good through the weekend.
It not only 79-degree high, but sunny and a 4% chance of rain.
Beautiful.
It's going to be perfect.
Fantastic. That's so lovely about the transition from summer into fall. I never ever want to let summer go, ever. It makes there is like a funk that I will go through when my kids go back to school, and it's a whole thing. They're a year older now, so it's just a like on paper confirmation that they're getting older. And once you start the school, then the school year's over. It's like start school, Christmas, spring break, summer. And then summer you kind of muddle through. It's like summer is the longest period of time that seems the same to me.
And it does feel slower. I think part of that is the schedule, though. Because like you said, boom, when school starts, everything starts.
Yeah.
And then you are running constantly.
So we're gonna be out there on tomorrow, and we'll be there broadcasting live from noon to 3. So we're doing the show from the golf course. We'll be out there a little bit early, getting everything set up. So hopefully we can say hi and hello to you, and looking forward to that. And then Wednesday, is it the 27th? Off the top of my head, is the diaper drive?
Yes.
At Ruler Foods in Collinsville. So another opportunity for us to be out and about. Very exciting to be able to get out there, especially in beautiful September days.
That's why we should schedule outdoor events every day in September. The entire show, every single day.
Are you going to engineer the show?
No, I'm not going to do anything differently.
We're not even going to plug the microphones in.
This is the radio equivalent of asking the teacher if we can have class outside today.
Yes. You know what, though? Sometimes the teacher says yes, Brad.
Can we do radio outside today? What if we broadcast from the roof?
Wasn't going outside during class the best?
Oh, yeah.
Anything to break it up. It was like, yay, something different.
I think, though, in my life, maybe we went outside 3 times.
Oh, we used to go out. Were you public school?
Public and private.
Public.
You did Catholic school, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you go Catholic to public?
Yep.
And you did all public?
Mm-hmm.
I was a Lutheran school for the entirety of my through senior year of high school, except for my sophomore year. I went to Eversole High School.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Really?
No, I don't think I did that.
Yeah.
Did you do sports that year?
Yes. I did 3 sports at Eversole High School.
Oh, man, I'm impressed now. 3-sport athlete.
You weren't impressed before?
Nah. School's too small. I was like, it's like brain dead chimp could make that team.
Oh, man.
That's so ornery.
I did not think about what I was saying before I said it.
Did you even
That's
make
not
that
my
team?
fault. What's that?
Did you make that team?
I didn't make.
No,
I made
you
one
didn't.
team. I did not. Yeah, I mean that speaks to it. I did not make the basketball team. I didn't even try out for soccer, even though I played soccer. And the only team I made was golf.
Yeah,
it was
and
probably
you
because
didn't
there
even
was
make that
very
for
few.
Annie's school. It was a completely different school.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. How's it going over there?
I just think I could beat you in most of the sports I played. That's all.
Well, let's set up the Annie Frey Show Olympics.
I think it has to happen. It just has to be for a cause. There has to be a purpose other than our own egos.
Okay.
Annie, did I tell you, like, after Ryan was talking about his long drive competition, did I tell you what the golf scramble messaged me afterwards and said?
That we could settle it.
Yeah, that we should settle it on, I believe it was the 8th hole, which is the long drive hole.
Do you have any idea how embarrassing it would be to lose that to Brad, who started golfing in May at our the golf remote?
He
that we
did not.
Yes, he did.
It was like,
he
didn't even
claims
have.
he
it was
did.
like
No.
12 years since I'd been golfing.
He didn't
before
even
that.
have clubs.
This dude gives master classes in how to move your hips through a pitch. So
Are we start talking about golf?
yeah.
Okay.
How to he knows how to
Brad?
swing a club. Yeah, he knows what he's doing, and he's also like twice the size of me. So
do not weigh 260 pounds.
Brad is 5'10".
And I'm 5'9". 5'9" and a half.
5'10".
You got a half inch on
that
me.
That makes Ryan, what, 3.5?
They say every inch of height is worth about 100 yards.
Shut up.
Just doing the math in that. Should be able to
The
hit
Collinsville
it
K-Hawk golf team right now is ashamed.
No, they're not. They have a plaque of me up.
I know kids on the Collinsville K-Hawk golf
Ask them about my plaque.
Do you have a plaque? Because I can text somebody right now and find out. If there is a legend of Ryan Wiggins, which sounds like I was just say
Bagger
Bilbo
Vance.
Baggins, but yeah.
I knew right where you're going.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you the truth. When I played my junior year, we went to state. We were excellent my junior year.
Did you go to state because did you contribute to that?
I did not play at state.
Okay. I was just asking.
But it was a blast. We had a phenomenal senior class where all 4 of them ended up playing at Division I schools, I think. And then when they graduated,
Did they have plaques?
I think they did.
You just keep trying to slip your picture in front of theirs in the plaque in
When
the
they-
school.
when
It's
they-
you going 2 thumbs up.
I kid you not. When they graduated, it was like, hey, there's Fonzie. When they graduated, our senior class was so bad that it was just me and one other guy. And they were like, all right, well, this is going to be a rebuilding year.
Hey!
Hey, I'm still here. Fonzie's still here, baby.
What is your greatest athletic accomplishment, really? At any age, what is your greatest memory athletically that you felt like that moment was the best for whatever judgment, whatever circumstances you.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
There's so many.
So I got honestly though, I'll tell the story and then I'll tell you why I think I got it though. There was a
Is
district.
this a spelling contest?
No,
Okay.
no, I've told that story though. That's all academic.
Yeah,
which
but
I
weren't you
also
a grown
excelled
man in
in
a children's spelling contest or
No,
something?
that's not true. That's,
I
can tell a
remember
different
it as
story.
being true.
This one is, I think this was 5th, 6th grade or something like that. There was a district-wide assembly that had something to do with sports. I don't exactly know what it was, but there were tons of kids there. And they called out kids who showed exceptional sportsmanship and also talent in multiple sports. And I got one of those awards. There was a gigantic medal. And I'm like, wow, that's cool.
A multi-sport
It was like an
talent.
acknowledgement that hey, you're athletic and you're a good sport. And it was in front of thousands and thousands of people. And I always was like, wow, that's amazing because I didn't expect it.
You got a medal for being a good sport?
I got a medal.
I can get you one of those.
And then later in life, I was like, I bet it's because I had CF.
No.
I think, honestly, it's because they knew, oh, this guy has overcome a little bit more than other people because he, the CF, the breathing stuff.
Do you wish that they wouldn't have given it to you?
No, I loved it at the time, but it was later that I went, oh, there might have been a little bit of soft politics involved in that.
That wouldn't be soft politics. That would be maybe some.
Tell me.
I don't know. I was going to say empathy.
I mean, whatever it was, it took a little bit away from the award for me.
But that's just an assumption you made. You don't know that.
I don't know that. You're right.
So it might have been that you're just a super good sport.
Yeah, it's they carved on the back of it in.
But was it
in a
sponsored by the
knife.
CF
It said
Foundation?
CF kid.
Oh no!
And I'm like, I think you know what? I think that might have played a role in this.
Ryan, what's your greatest athletic accomplishment?
So this is going to sound weird. We've won championships as teams and stuff like that. Baseball, softball, sophomore year, went undefeated at the baseball team. But my greatest athletic accomplishment, in my opinion, is on a little floor hockey team. I decided I wanted to play floor hockey. So this isn't skates or anything, but I was like, I don't want to try to learn to skate. I'm too old for this, whatever. Let's see if there's a floor hockey thing. There's an adult floor hockey league.
What year is this?
20.
How old are you?
What would I be in 2017? It was.
So mid-30s.
Yeah.
So a couple years ago.
I need to know if you're 17, if you're
No.
7, or if it was yesterday.
No.
Right.
So I decided I want to play floor hockey, and I just called this. I found this league online, STL Floor Hockey, and they're like, yeah, we play at the Salvation Army over here, and so we go out in this gym, we play. I signed up. They just put me on a random team. I've never played hockey or anything like that before. The very first game, I scored a hat trick The second goal tied the game and sent us
wait
into
a second. You were in your mid-30s. How old was everyone else?
Same age.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe in their 20s.
They were all adults as well, legally.
Yeah, it was adult floor hockey.
They were all 18
Just
or
checking.
over.
But yeah, I scored a hat trick in my very first game. The second goal put us into overtime, and then my third goal is what won the game for us, which I thought was really cool because I'd never done anything like that before, and I was like, I just picked it up, and I was good at it. I've always had to work at something, and that was the one thing that I picked up, and I was like, oh, I'm good at this.
Is it weird that, I mean, I guess I need to separate the two, but I've coached sports for so long now.
Yeah, you got to separate them.
That what I truly glean the most happiness from is helping kids achieve that. Because I understand that sports is so important to me through high school. And after that, there's kind of an identity crisis you go through if you're a girl, there's no part of your life you're like, I want to be a professional athlete. Like, you want to go to college, you want to compete, you want to be the best, maybe you want to be in the Olympics, but it is different in the mind of a female than a mind of a male, maybe not today. But
what is the difference today?
That I can't dress up like a dude and then go compete in professional male sports.
You can't?
No, I'm not good enough.
Have you ever seen She's the Boy, She's the Man?
She's the man. She's
with
the
Amanda Burns?
No. No. I mean, I'm sure there are boys I could beat. Some of them might be in the room.
Are you sure that you didn't want to be Danica Patrick? Were you not like, ooh, wow.
Let's not get into the race car drivers, athletes conversation.
Why do you want to beat up on the one person in this room with a health condition?
I just know I would have lost the bet that Brad would have made that joke and not Ryan. I would be out cash money right now on that one.
I owe Brad for that joke.
I remember when we were coaching a basketball team, a girls basketball team. It's like an A team, which is the 8th grade level, so it's the best team. And it was Jared's first teaching job, and when he got that job, one of the dads came up to him. It was before school started because Jared was a teacher there. And the dad came up to him. He was going to be teaching this kid. He goes, this basketball team's going to be pretty good this year. And Jared's like, yeah, I've heard that. He goes, we want to compete at a high level. And Jared's like, yeah, I do too. And I mean, this dad was super intense. The rest of the people were whatever. The Lutheran school had not gone to state. I don't know. I don't think they had ever been to state. And we went through this season. We had a 6-foot-tall girl who could play. She was coordinated, and she would score 20-plus every game. And they just competed so well, and we made it to state. And it was a huge thing for the school. And we were the 13th seed. Is that who the 3rd seed would play? Or the 4th seed? We were the 13th, and we played, I guess, the 4th seed. And we were supposed to lose the first game, and we won it in overtime. And it was a Chicago school that we played. They had a big girl on their team who could play as well. And we planned so hard for that game. And we had tape. We knew what they were going to do. And it was,
wow.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Dang.
And we were not intense. Like, you put the other 16 teams in that tournament, they are all way more psychotic about it than we were. But we had assets and we tried to utilize them. And we pulled it off. And I mean, the pride that I had in that moment for those girls, for achieving something and earning something and upsetting everything, it was just so top notch. And I had athletic accomplishments throughout the course of my time playing sports. I did volleyball, basketball, softball, and I did track. I was probably most successful in track, but I liked it the least. I like team sports, but there's just something about being able to put something together and improve over the course of time. And then that's the thing about sports that I like so much, that like what we do here every day, we are constantly, people get to hear it every day on the air, but the amount of ideas that we come up with or laugh about that never make it past that conversation, things that we think would be super funny, but we're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if we have the resources
or
to
time
pull it off, or the time or whatever. And we're working on that. We got some exciting things up our sleeve. It's just, when you get to have that victory, that thing that at the end that is the validation of the hard work and the effort, it just feels so good. And it's just about kind of the same about being a parent, but when you get to watch your kids do it, it's just exponential. It's hard to even explain how much better it feels for me to watch them accomplish something like that. We coached the boys volleyball team last year. We talked about it throughout the course of the year. The boys grade school volleyball, they have this baseball team at the Lutheran school, and they don't have very many kids. 4th graders are playing on this team through 8th graders, but they're doing well. I mean, I'm so impressed with what they've done this year. My son's the only 8th grader. He went into this knowing it's probably not going to be the most competitive thing, but it's still an opportunity to play. It's still reps, and my husband and I have really pushed him to see it as an opportunity to learn how to lead in a team setting and to push your team to improve. It's not always about the final score, improve. And last year, the season was really rough. The baseball season was really rough, and we had this really talented group of boys who were 8th graders, and then Charlie was the only 7th grader. And I mean, I don't know. It was the final butt kicking of the year for the baseball team, and the season wraps up around the end of September. And we kept saying to these boys, like, hey, you guys want to play boys volleyball? Yeah, we might, maybe, I don't know. And then we said, how about we teach you how to play volleyball and we make it to the state tournament and we win the state championship? They go, there's a state? Yeah, there's a state tournament. You think we could do that? I go, yeah, I think we could do that. And Jared was like, yeah, we can do that. And we got to the state championship semifinal game, and we lost in 3 sets. So we ended up playing for 3rd place. We ended up winning 3rd place. The first time those boys picked up a volleyball was like September 30th. And
That's
state
awesome.
was the first weekend of November.
Wow, that's cool.
It was so fun to watch them play. They were so bad at first. And if they were here, like we lost probably the first 60% of our games. And then something clicked. And they got it, and we were teaching them the game, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, I get this. This is fun. And then we pretty much didn't lose. So we win the 3rd place trophy at the state championships, and they announce our school name. They're like, with a 4-8 record, the third place team in the state of Illinois. Yay, the Braves. and all the boys are like, oh my gosh, it's so embarrassing. It's like, no, it's not embarrassing. We lost the first 8 games, and then we won the next 4 that got us to here, and then they did great. So
That story arc sounds a whole lot like a young Ryan Wiggins at St. Clair Bowl in Fairview Heights from 2004 to 2006. I started with nothing.
When you think about it, it just kind of gets you.
Yeah, it does.
In your heart.
Mm-hmm. I was on 2 different bowling teams at that time, Edgar Allan Bowl and Bowling Alley McBeal.
See, people are listening right now, and they're like, I have no idea if Ryan Wiggins is telling the truth or not. And I'm here to tell you, listeners, I'm on that side with you. I have no idea if that is accurate or not. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Trish is going to come in here. I'm going to ask her the YouTube live chat poll, self-checkout or cashier attendant, and we need to get your vote in the YouTube live chat as well. We'll give you the results at the end of the show. I'm going to read a couple here real quick. Chris says self-checkout, it's quicker. Andy says self-cashiers are on the way out. No saving those jobs. Cashiers, or he meant self-checkouts.
We get you.
Yeah. Jackie says, I always select self-checkout at Costco. Always a handful of items, but prefer to use the cashier lane. So you guys are on both sides of this issue. We want to know what you think. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
A singer in a smoky room, a smell of wine and cheap perfume. For a smile they can share the night. It goes on and on and on and on.
GatewayDRS.com, GatewayDoctors.com. That's how you connect with Gateway ENT. They are an incredibly cost-effective way to have a convenient alternative to your ENT needs. I know a lot of people who have gone, personally I know them, who have gone to Gateway ENT. My husband is going to see Dr. Hardiman today at Gateway ENT. He's got a lot of congestion issues, and you know that it's more than just allergies. It's something stronger than that, and Dr. Hardiman is fantastic at assessing whatever those issues might be and giving you possible solutions. But Dr. Hardiman isn't the only ENT there. They have a whole team of ENTs, and one is just as good as the next. So if you've been thinking about trying to address your ear, nose, and throat concerns, go to the place that people all across the St. Louis area rely on, this private practice ENT group at gatewaydrs.com. You can call them at 314-843-3828 to schedule an appointment, and they are taking new patients, and they will get you in pretty quickly. 314-843-3828, online at gatewaydrs.com.
If you love headlines that make you stop scrolling and start reading, you'll love my podcast, Something Offbeat. I'm Mike Rogers, and in the past year, we've learned about items on the nude bucket list.
It's just a lot of normal stuff that people do nude rather than clothed.
And what's behind the rash of incidents involving fans throwing objects at artists on stage.
They're being treated more like the object on the screen than the person on the stage.
Something Offbeat drops Mondays in the Odyssey app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Make the Goodwill choice. Donate to Goodwill and help put people to work right here in St. Louis. And help yourself to a Lion's Choice famous roast beef sandwich. Clean out those closets and cabinets. Take your donations to Goodwill during the month of September, and you'll get a coupon for an original Lion's Choice roast beef sandwich, courtesy of Lion's Choice. Give hope. Give local. Give Goodwill. It's the right choice for Lion's Choice. Hurry, supplies are limited. Get details at mersgoodwill.org.
If you're ready to start your next outdoor project right now and you'd like to save some money, listen up. Mark Cox here for Chesterfield Fence and Deck. If you mention my name, you'll save 20% off your next outdoor project with Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Go to chesterfieldfence.com or pay them a visit at their beautiful showroom down in the Chesterfield Valley, just off 109 across from the outlet malls. Listen, this is a fantastic family-owned operation since 1968. And this is what I love about it. They'll come to your home. They'll give you a free estimate at no obligation and even help you out with ideas. Free project design. They can show you what other people are doing, or maybe you've got your own great ideas. They've got fences, decks, custom sunrooms, screen rooms, pergolas, patios, you name it. They can take care of it, and they're a BBB Torch Award winner. Check them out today at chesterfieldfence.com. or call 636-532-4054. Mark Cox here. Join me, Mark Reardon, and Annie Frey, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group for the last Protecting Your Retirement educational event of the year. Tuesday, October 3rd at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Seats are limited, so go online to retirementkey.com. Here's Thomas with more.
Are you nearing retirement and wondering if you'll be able to live the same lifestyle as you are now? Do you worry about losing your nest egg in the next big market correction? Did you know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free to protect your nest egg from any more losses and provide more income than most investment options? Would you like to know why linking to the market is so much safer than owning the market? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you don't want to miss this last event of the year.
Protect your retirement nest egg. Join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, Tuesday, October 3rd at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Save $50 to over $1,700 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates on qualifying HVAC equipment now through November 18th. For a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
You don't have to punch it in. You can just say it.
Hey Alexa, hey Siri.
Play 97.1 FM Talk. Available on your smart speaker any time of day. St. Louis's home for conservative talk. You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
And now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
I think this is the longest feature on the Annie Frey Show.
Really?
I was doing this on Saturdays. Yeah.
That's cool. It's cool to be a part of it.
It's a Jason Church used to do this. I think
that's
with me.
bizarre.
Yeah. If you don't remember him, he's Jason Church.
Do you want me to do the Jason? I'm Jason Church.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Thanks.
When they write a book about Annie, Are You Okay in the future, you'll be probably a whole chapter.
Great. Wow. What an honor.
Can we task you with writing that book? Thanks, since you're the author.
Yeah, I'll write that book. It'll be pretty short, but
You want Ryan to write a book about you?
About Annie, Are You Okay?
no, just this
specifically?
segment.
I'm not okay with this. Moving on.
Mexican scientists reveal alien mummies at congressional hearing. Mexico held its first ever congressional hearing into UFOs and aliens on Tuesday, allowing two scientists to show what they claim are mummified alien remains to the
I
general
saw these
public.
things.
Did you see them? It is wild.
This is
It's laugh
a
out
terrible
loud.
way to start our investigation.
Jaw hit the ground. The two tiny corpses are said to be more than 1,000 years old and discovered in Peru. They were displayed in glass boxes and discussed in depth by the scientist and a journalist who all swore under oath that the remains were 100% real.
Real what?
I don't know.
DNA find. They are
guess
paper
so.
mache.
Annie, are you okay with aliens?
I'm okay with them because I don't think they're real. I don't think they exist. And I'm not mad about
In general, you don't, no extra, interesting. I don't know if I knew that about you.
No, nothing. I think we're it.
All right.
So
Cool.
I'm not mad at them. I know they're not mad at me.
Guarantee you one thing. If aliens exist, I pray to God they are not those things. Because imagining
Horrific looking.
what could be under your bed, that's it. Those things could get under your bed or
I challenge everything that we presume to be a part of alien existence. Just like all those reports you were reading the other day about naked aliens.
Oh, I pretty much type in naked alien for every Babylon Bee.
Exactly. We're doing all these reports about these aliens are not wearing clothes. It would be way weirder if they were wearing like khakis and a polo.
Yeah.
So if you had aliens showing up and they looked well dressed, they're not going to blend in any better. It's going to be like, did you think that this is going to make you pass for one of us?
Hello, I am human too.
Yeah.
This is from H&M.
Got your Crocs on and your little Nike bowler hat type of a thing, and you're just like here to blend? No. And then the other thing is, why would aliens come here and be like, where's Ryan Wiggins' bed? I would like to crawl under it.
I agree. But here's the problem. Because if they did...
I'm so excited to hear
If
what
they
this is.
did, there would be... If they were that small, they would not just like, oh, here's a couple aliens showed up, take me to your leader. That would be an infestation. They would be everywhere because
You're not
tiny.
saying like the alien comes and goes under your bed. You're just saying they're everywhere, including your bed,
Yes,
under your bed,
yes.
or in your bed.
Those things would come and they would breed like rabbits and they would be everywhere, including under my bed, and they'd probably be doing it under there.
What?
Oh, no.
Maybe they don't breed. Maybe they multiply.
Possibly.
Or maybe they just manifest into other things.
We need to call Mexican Congress and ask about their reproductive.
Mexican Congress. Let's ask that question, but maybe first the border.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
President calls.
We've solved it.
It calls the border.
Joe Biden picks up the phone. He's like, about them aliens. We're like, no, the border. I want to know about the
Are
aliens.
those things real, though? Seriously.
New internet trend shows adults ordering off kids' menus. Adults are choosing dishes from kids' menus at restaurants to save money and reduce portion size. It's a TikTok thing. They've been showing off their meals, claiming the dishes include a fair amount of food for less than half the price. It turns out 12 and under rule that's listed on most menus is very rarely enforced. Annie, are you okay with adults ordering off the kids' menu?
Yeah. I encourage people, Disney World trip, to order kids' meals while you're at Disney World because it is enough food to get you by for a lot less. If you're at a restaurant and the menu says 12 and under and you are over 12, ask, can I order a kids menu? And most of the time, they'll give you something that is like the kids meal with maybe a little bit bigger of a portion than what they'd give a kid that I would feed my 7-year-old. Maybe a little bit of an upcharge, but it might be less than an entree. If they say no, then no. But if they're going to sell it to you, or if you're carrying out and you're ordering kids meals, what do they care?
I love this. We split everywhere we go because
my husband
there's
and I do that
always way too much food anyway. So I get this.
I think especially if you're going to a place that is known for large portions. My husband and I will, if he and I go out ourselves, which doesn't ever happen, but it's nice when it does. We'll like split a salad, we'll split an entree, and if we're still hungry, we'll split a dessert. And it's always more than enough food. If you were going somewhere and you just want a kid's meal, as long as they're not saying, is this for somebody 12 and under and you're not lying, then that's fine.
As long as you're not like, I'm 12.
Who cares? The only people that matter in this...
Me 12.
Yeah. The only person who matters in that situation is the business.
Yeah, and the question is then, like, are you ripping them off, or is that meal priced accordingly so that they're not losing money on a kid's meal?
Yeah, they're doing fine.
McDonald's phasing out self-serve beverage stations. The slow transition will be completed by 2032, McDonald's announced. Customers will be required to ask for refills at the counter. This change is intended to create a consistent experience for both customers and crew across all ordering points, whether that's McDelivery, the app, kiosk, drive-thru, or in-restaurant. Annie, are you okay with eliminating self-serve soda machines for McDonald's?
I mean, this is not really surprising in an industry where the people are mostly paid at a minimum wage level. Everything that can be done to streamline and consolidate is going to be. Has McDonald's said why they're doing it?
Yeah, they indicated they were doing it because people were not dining in as much and that people were ordering on the app and using the drive-thru predominantly. So they were getting rid of some of their inside.
That makes sense too. And I really question, it takes a lot to clean one of those soda machines. And I've seen the videos, and those things are not being cleaned well. You're not getting my order right. You think you're getting the soda machine right? That's not happening. So it doesn't really bother me. You can still get free refills.
Yeah,
so
you just have to ask.
I mean, it's kind of one of those things that I've given into, like, okay, we do community soda machines. And then when COVID happened, you're like, that's the worst thing ever. And then we're like, but COVID is the worst thing ever. Put the soda machines back. And then we're touching the cup to the thing all the time. I'm not really that bothered by it. I can't remember the last time I went and sat inside McDonald's.
It only seemed weird to me because they seem to be trying to take the human element out of things, and this seems like another reason to keep employees.
I thought the same thing. I thought the opposite from what you said, that this seems like it would be more work for the employees, not less.
Adding a human element into the transaction.
Yeah.
But if you add the human element into the transaction, but you eliminate a huge percentage of the transactions, how many people won't go get the extra soda if there's a little bit of a line? How many people won't waste the soda? How many people are getting cups and stealing the soda that didn't pay for a soda, but they paid for a water or whatever it is? I got to imagine that this is probably going to really benefit the bottom line. And if that means that you stand in line to get a refill, then good for those employees.
That's why I'm against it. I'm against that. I'm against kids' meals because they're just not big enough. You guys can get kids' meals. I'm just saying I need to order 2 meals usually.
New plant-based ham introduced. Vegan pork brand La
And
Vie.
it's not ham.
V has announced the launch of its
You don't
first
get to call it ham. Make up a new name.
Veggie ham. It's VAM.
The
Call it scam.
based company, which is known for vegan bacon, announced the new product at the event in Paris last week. The ham, which took 4 years to develop, is said to feature a similar taste, smell, and texture to the real thing.
Man, that's got to be expensive if it takes 4 years to develop each one.
Each individual ham before it's carved.
How much does it cost?
How bad do vegans want ham?
Taste, smell, and texture are similar. Annie, are you okay with plant-based ham?
No. Should be illegal. Punishable by death.
Who's biting into that and going, that tastes similar?
Like
a lot like ham. Oh my.
Is there a medical reason why this is necessary, or is this just like, let's not hurt the pigs and climate change?
That one, I believe.
Yeah, I'm going to go with number 2 here, Annie.
Yeah. Ryan's going number 2.
It's almost 3.
It's almost Friday.
Loose snake captured in baggage claim area at California airport. Officials at San Jose Maneta International Airport said a garter snake caught on camera in a baggage claim area was safely captured and relocated on Wednesday.
Good for it.
The snake was spotted on Tuesday, though, and filmed by a surprised traveler. Airport officials said that they were unable to capture the snake that day, but said it was successfully located, wrangled, and relocated the following morning.
What's the one being that could exist in your presence and then disappear, and you know that it is somewhere? Like, what's the worst thing that could be for you, Ryan?
It's a centipede.
Yeah, that answer locked and loaded.
Yeah. We talked about this before the show to prepare for this moment. Go on.
When a centipede would make it into me and Mrs. Wiggins' room, we cannot sleep until we find that thing. And therefore, it is a centipede. It has happened multiple times.
Is it the same one?
Yeah.
What's its name?
As you know, we're pacifists. So whenever I catch it, I just place it gingerly outdoors. And then it comes right back.
You place it out in the hall.
Yeah.
Gosh darn it.
You stay out there now.
You need to
You
name
listen
it.
to me. I'm in charge of this house. And it just does. There's a gap underneath the door. And I tell it, don't use that gap again.
Is it a centipede, or is it just something with a lot of legs?
It's one of those little millipede. I don't know what they're actually called.
Because at some point you have so many legs that it's just too many.
Yeah.
That happens after 6, by the way. Legs.
Okay.
Spider.
I thought you meant 6 p.m.
So a 7-legged dog comes in. She's like, that thing has too many legs.
Yeah,
I can't even count that high.
What this is.
You would too. You wouldn't be okay with it. Don't act like I'm the weird one here. Good grief.
I got to go take a
Are you okay with a 6-legged dog?
Yeah, that's my point. Like, we've all seen 6-legged dogs. Okay. A 7 comes in. She's like, oh, I can't deal with this.
I think you're going to encounter a spider in your house more than you're going to encounter a snake in your house. So to me, a spider is absolutely the worst. But if there was a snake in my house.
Oh, snake hands down for me.
Like, I can't even imagine what I'd be capable of in that moment.
I
am fortified in my house, and I would be making decisions.
You know what, though? I'm going to switch now that you've said if it's in your house. I'm going to switch from centipede to Bengal tiger. This minute I see that,
Give
I'm
me
out of there.
all of those little Debbie's back right now. Give them back to me right now. What was the question?
Are you okay with snakes?
No. I'm more okay with snakes than I am him.
If you're going to travel with a snake, though, you got to travel with a snake in a cage and make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Keep them in cages, you guys.
You're so weird. Do you have any more stories? No, this is it? All right. Thank you, Trisha. Enjoy your zebra cake over there.
Yeah, thank you for these.
A nice little treat. We baked it ourselves a long, long time ago. We'll be right back with the results of today's poll. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Michael's Flooring Outlet. You find them online at igotfloored.com. Shopping for flooring is pretty exciting once you know that you're going to make a purchase. It's going to be very transformative for your house. But you want to make sure that the investment is one that you're going to enjoy for a long time, that the quality of the flooring is going to last under your footsteps, under the big family you might have, or maybe the pups or the cats or whatever it might be that are running around on the hardwood flooring or the Mohawk Smart Silk. Wonderful, beautiful flooring that you can get. I'm a big fan of carpet. I think it makes the house feel a lot more cozy and comfortable. When you get the Smart Strand Mohawk Silk line of carpeting in your house, you're going to feel the luxury that exists with that particular product. When you go into the store at Michael's Flooring Outlet, you're going to be able to walk around the store. You're going to be able to feel the different product, kind of view it from underneath your feet so that you can see what it's going to look like and get that visual. And also when it comes to carpeting, getting that padding, you're going to pay for one kind of padding or another kind of padding, understanding the investment that you're about to make. Michael's Flooring Outlet is fantastic at all of it. Quality, value, and a great customer sales staff to help you make a good decision. You can find them online at igotfloored.com.
I'm Ty Burrell, actor and small business owner. I'm going to show you my 5 steps for making the perfect radio ad. This one's about innovation refunds and the ERC. First step, be relatable. As a small business owner, I know that filing for the ERC tax refund can feel complicated and confusing. Also, I like pizza and puppies. There, done. Step 2, cold hard info. The ERC, or Employee Retention Credit for long, is a tax credit for eligible businesses that kept employees on payroll in 2020 and 2021. So if you qualify, Innovation Refund's network of independent tax attorneys could help you claim it. Step 3, call to action. Go to innovationrefunds.com to get started. Step 4, the jingle I wrote myself. Actually, scratch that. Just go to innovationrefunds.com or call 1-843-REFUNDS and go to Step 5. Legal stuff.
Innovation Refunds does not provide tax or legal advice. We work with an independent network of tax professionals. Terms and conditions apply. Ty is a paid spokesman.
Yeah, it's a masterpiece.
Are your health insurance premiums making you sick? Did you go with one of those high-deductible, limited network Obama plans? Well, you're not stuck with it. Or did you go with a health plan outside of the marketplace that's costing you an arm and a leg? There are better options. Kim Kiefer at H&L Agency offers plans where you only meet a deductible if you go into a hospital. You pick your doctors, and it's 30 to 60% lower than most other plans. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, you need to talk to an expert like Kim Kiefer. Call 800-975-2841. That's 800-975-2841. Or go to hnlagency.org. And is spelled out. That's HANDL agency.org. Kim can customize a plan chosen and managed by you, not the government. Again, call Kim at 800-975-2841. That's 800-975-2841.
It looks like wood, it feels like wood, but it's maintenance-free. It's luxurious James Hardie siding. And during Banner Construction's 30th anniversary, get same-as-cash financing on James Hardie and Pella windows. And have a banner day.
While interest rates are skyrocketing everywhere else, Diamonds Direct comes to the rescue. Now for a limited time, get 0% interest for 5 years on anything and everything. Now through October 1st, you get Diamonds Direct's incredible value price and spread your payments over 5 years with an unheard of interest rate of 0.0%. Nothing's held back. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets. At a time when you need it most, Diamonds Direct steps up with the best offer in the nation. Don't miss it. Get details, showroom hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. On approved credit.
Tomorrow, this show will be broadcasting live from Oak Brook Golf Course in Edwardsville. Don't do that. For the Madison County GOP Scramble. That is from noon to 3. You'll hear us on location. Also, Saturday is my birthday. It is 2:50 right now. I can't. It is 2:50 right now. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Congresswoman Ann Wagner.
One thing I've learned here in my time in Washington, where there's smoke, there's fire, and there is sure a hell of a lot of smoke. We need to know if this president, while he was serving as vice president, was taking bribes.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
Freedom was something I never found. Trying to find 6 feet underground. Under the weight
This
of all
is the Annie Frey Show.
Fighting the fight that I couldn't.
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
And now I can breathe. I was a dead man.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. I just opened a gift from Libby. Is that right? From listener
Yes.
Libby? What am I holding in my hands here?
That looks like a shirt. That's cool. I wear those all the time.
What?
Oh man, and it has something cool on it.
If looks
I
could
mean,
kill.
I already love shirts, but that shirt in particular has a rock lobster on it. And it says at the bottom, the B-52s, and Annie had no clue what that was. Even though we've talked about it, I think, no, it was last week. It was last week. I'll give you that.
when Libby and Amanda were in for X's
Yeah, we were trying to think of a different song that the B-52s did other than Love Shack.
I remember all of this, but the story was that I didn't know what Rock Lobster was. And the story is kind of still that.
The shirt says rock, and there's a giant lobster with a guitar.
I thought it was going to say Rock Mouth.
And it says at the bottom, it says B-52s at the bottom. And she's like, what is this? I don't quite get it. We're like, it's the song that not only did we do almost a whole segment on, then we talked about it in the X's and O's game. And you still were like, oh.
It's a great shirt.
It is a cool shirt.
I love it. I'm going to wear it. Thank you.
Listen to the song before you wear it.
Just every time I don't know a song, y'all listening want me to remember it, send me a shirt.
Annie's going to have loads
a lot of t-shirts.
of AC and DC shirts.
AC and DC is great.
Send some weird stuff, too. Like stuff that you
Like
would not
Rock
even
Lobster?
like to listen to, that now if you send a shirt, she's got to go listen to it.
The first thing I thought of when I saw it, I'm like, I don't even like lobster.
Send a Pink Floyd Umma Gumma shirt and make her listen to the whole album. Because it's basically just animal noises.
I got to lean into this a little bit, though, because in the conservative talk radio lane, which is where we comfortably reside, it is what it is. Most people in this lane pride themselves on their rock knowledge. And I have been in radio since 2006, and I did sports talk for 3 years, and then I started doing news talk, but we were a sister station to Cashier. And I sat in so many meetings where stuff like this was talking about, and I had to keep it inside. I was scared. I didn't want to be called on. I didn't want to have to contribute because I didn't know what anybody was talking about.
Honest question for anybody listening, chat, let us know, because I would like to know the answer to this question. Do you even consider B-52s rock?
Oh, here we go.
Do you?
Isn't it pop?
I would say it's almost like avant-garde.
I'd be
other
honest
than
with
Love
you,
Shack.
I have never put that much thought into the B-52s.
I don't know what they are.
Real quick question here.
Okay.
Answer individually. Ryan first. How frequently do you think about the Roman Empire?
Once every quarter.
Brad, how frequently do you think about the Roman Empire?
Probably like once a month, and it's usually when Biden does something stupid or ignores something, and it's like, and Rome burned while Nero fiddled.
You would say once a month?
Yeah.
And you would say,
well,
quarterly.
If you think about like biblical context for things, maybe more often than that.
We don't have time to get, we could talk about it more later because I'm curious what kind of feedback I get from this. But there is something going around the internet right now, like viral thing, where women are asking their men this, and a lot of men are saying every day.
Oh, wow.
Really?
And I asked my husband last night, I go, how often do you think about the Roman Empire? I have it on video in case he said every day, which he didn't. He's like, I don't know, whenever I teach it in class. He goes, but I did teach it in class today. So it was a little ironic there, but he didn't. He was not an everyday person. So
that's strange.
If you're listening right now, ask a man in your life how often, because I didn't know if it's like, if 6 people do it and then they get us talking about it, then they win. But I'm willing to concede this loss for the possibility that there are men who think about the Roman Empire daily.
That's weird to me. I bet there are people who think about World War II every day.
Possibly. Do you prefer self-checkout or a cashier attendant when you go to the grocery store? That is the YouTube live chat poll for today. 38% say self-checkout. 62% say cashier attendant. What do you say?
I say I'm a winner. 62%.
Your cashier attendant would be the answer?
Self-checkout.
Self-checkout myself as well. This is what you do at a self-checkout. I just stand there and check myself out.
And wait for the thing to go, oh, wait, you have too many items over there.
Yeah.
That drives me crazy.
Come out to the GOP Madison County Republican event tomorrow. The information is all available at 971talk.com/events. Keep it here. The Mark Reardon Show is up next.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online?